they do a wonderful job, the team here, and we just hope we get looked after at halftime as well. A couple of weeks ago, they outdid themselves. I love a good sticky date at halftime. Anyway, we'll move aside of that in a moment, because on the boundary today, he's back and ready and raring to go. He maybe not so much loving the facilities because he's out there on the ground, Glenn Hill. Stay out of the rain, mate. Come on.
Yeah, I'll try to, Pete. Really, when I had a look at the forecast, I didn't think the weather would be this bad, but she's turned on us.
You knew it was going to be cold, though. You told me that pre-match.
Yeah, we always know you get a cold one down at Werribee, but you'd have to say the ground's in really good condition, and as Leedsy said, the facilities here are fantastic, and the crowd's poured in the last 5 minutes or so it looks like we're going to get a good crowd, and we should get a good game too. I think Werribee have been a little bit stiff with a couple of their losses so far this season, so I think they'll be able to serve it up to Footscray today. Yeah,
I think so. We watched them here a couple of weeks ago against Williamstown, their win for the season, and they got them in the opening quarter. But, gee, as we were talking about Hilly and Leedsy, we were running through the Footscray players who are playing. Should mention Dale Morris coming back after that injury. He's coming back through the Footscray side today. You look at other guys like Fletcher Roberts, Josh Shackey, of course the recruit from the Brisbane Lions. Lin Jong is playing in this team today. Gee, they've got some quality players who aren't able to find a spot in the seniors just yet. So, look, they've got quality there, but so do the Werribee team as well.
Yeah, 11 listed players and 3 of them who have played in an AFL premiership. It's not a bad way to start the day for all involved. And I think John may not be far away with Hilly down there, who's doing his best scouting work. You're just jumping over the top of us, Hilly. But as you said, Pete, and Hilly referenced this, Werribees find themselves at 1 and 4, which doesn't suggest a great start to the year, but the percentage of 84 and a bit maybe just underlines that they've been competitive throughout the season today.
Yeah, certainly. Now, let's take a look at some of the results through round 7, and we'll get to them in just... we'll get to John Lamont in just a moment. Last-minute address before the players make their way out. Footscray already out on the park. And they even beat out the umpires, actually. The umpires are still a minute or two away. Big win for Essendon yesterday. Well, both AFL and VFL. 13-13-91, Geelong 12-12-84. A good win there for Essendon. As we hear the siren. And Werribee about to make its way out onto the ground. The coach is already out on the ground, Hilly.
He certainly is. Just joined me, John Lamont. Welcome to VFL Live again. Thanks again for your time. So generous with it throughout the season, and really appreciate it. And it's great to be down at the ground with the new facilities.
First time you've seen it?
First time for me.
Yeah, no, look, we're really excited. We've the VFL's looked after us a little bit with the draw and plenty of early games here at Avalon Airport Oval to just regenerate some local interest. Obviously, 2017 season we didn't play any games locally, so bit of a void for local people and VFL football. So, yeah, we're indeed fortunate that we've had a good run of games here at Avalon Airport Oval. So, looking forward to today's match.
And certainly the facilities are great and the people are flocking in. It's not the best day so far, but hopefully this weather will turn once again for us and we might get a fine afternoon. But so far we're off to a 1-4 start so far this season. Bit of a rocky road, but some narrow losses as well included in there.
Yeah, look, competitive losses. Played a couple of the better teams in Richmond and Collingwood the last couple of weeks. That they were just a little bit too consistent for us across the 4 quarters or the 2 hours of the game. We had some competitive phases, but we just didn't get enough right for long enough. And like I'm probably like every coach in every league in the country. You're just searching for more consistency from your players, and that's our search today. And then hopefully, if we can get that, then we'll be, hopefully a little bit closer to having our noses in front at the end of the game.
Where do you see the main challenges today against an experienced lineup that Footscray present?
Exactly that. They've got a lot of AFL listed full-timers, got experience. We've got some experienced players that we've brought into the club, like Hooper in his 100th VFL game today, and Sam Collins and Nick Coughlin. So we've brought some experience in, but we're still there's a lot of youth in our team. So we've just got to, and a hallmark of youthful teams is, dropping off a little bit. So that's our biggest challenge. The likes of, Dale Morris back in the team. He's a past Werribee player, so we wish him well, but not too well. But yeah, that sort of yeah, that's going to be the main thing, I think. Big Campbell in the ruck, like English, big fella in the ruck, but he's a youngster. But yeah, they've got Lin Jong, and they've just got plenty of talent on every line. So we just need to be working hard, and we'll need to be close to the top of our game for the full two hours to prevail.
And how will you set up today? Putting a running game style into play?
I don't think we've got any choice. I think we've got to run and gun a bit and take the game on. Because if we don't, like if we just air the ball out, just kick long and whatever, they're proactive defenders with experience. They'll just gobble the ball up. So we've got to be pretty aggressive with our ball movement. And we're still, at times, that's been our Achilles heel with skill and turnovers, been very costly the last two losses in particular. So we've just got to get that balance right, as we've spoken about, getting the balance right of our ball use and then defending really well on the turnover.
And with the younger players that you mentioned earlier, that confidence will grow, and it just takes time. It takes game experience.
It does, and the cohesion's the other thing too, and that comes from playing games together. We lost a few blokes with injury this week. 4 go out, 4 come in. So Josh Porter comes in. He's played a bit of VFL footy, for example. But he comes in, so he hasn't got great cohesion today. So we've got to get through that as well. So it's getting games into blokes, and then at the same time, them playing games together. That, again, just takes time. And there's no fast fix for that. But hopefully we can bring it together this afternoon.
Well, I know one thing for sure, they'll play with a lot of spirit. They always do down here. And thanks again for your time today, and good luck. And no doubt we'll talk to you throughout the season.
Yes, and thanks for coming down, and we really appreciate it. The exposure is great for our club, and we're just a bit excited at the minute, I suppose, after being the travelling Tigers in 2017. But now ground's in great condition. Yeah, weather's not great today, but hopefully people get a lot out of your coverage. Thanks very much.
No worries. Thanks again for your time, John.
Beautifully done. Thank you, Hilly. That was sort of wandering fireside chat style there, Leeds. I thought we were going to set up a couple of armchairs out there. We were going to delay the start of the first quarter.
Just remarkable, isn't it? So relaxed. There's a coach who knows what he's doing, who's comfortable in his role, and he understands the need for this club to be embraced by everyone around it, and he's doing a great job, and we can't be grateful enough for such a wonderful introduction to their game today.
Absolutely, and the welcome that we always get here at Werribee. Just quickly, some of the other results from round 7 in the Peter Jackson VFL. Casey 21-13, 139 to Frankston 4-9-33. Cam Pedersen 6 goals for Casey yesterday in the demolition. Bug kick 5. We know Frankston are going to have some ups and downs this season. It's just the way that it's going to go this season. Box Hill Hawks, Yormont 14-12-96 to the Northern Blues 8-10-58. Schoenmakers 3 goals for Box Hill, and Phillips 2 goals for the Northern Blues. A word on the Box Hill Hawks? All right, that'll do. Now, the North Melbourne 10-10-70. Well, otherwise you wouldn't stop. 10-10-70 to Port Melbourne, 8-14-62. Big game this one, a good win for North Melbourne. Larky kicking 3 goals. Lyle 2 goals for Port Melbourne. Big win up at Beaconsfield for Richmond, 14-14-98 to Sandringham, 4-9-33. And Chol and Gruwa and Moore kicking 2 goals each for the Tigers. And Collingwood 10-12-72 defeated Coburg 7-5-47. Competitive again, the Lions, but couldn't stretch it out to 4 quarters. And Collingwood continue their run through season 2018. I'll get the year right. The ladder, as it stands, on the top, Richmond, Collingwood, Box Hill, they're all on 20 points each. And Casey, Williamstown, Essendon, Port Melbourne, they're all on 16 points. So your top 7 separated by 1 game. Further game back, Geelong and North Melbourne. Geelong in 8th, North Melbourne in 9th. All of these teams have played 6 times for the season. Footscray, well, they're a game behind. They've got, obviously, the game today. They can put themselves back into that top 8 contention, at least jump into 9th spot today. a big win, maybe 8th along the way. Then you've got Sandringham and Frankston, both on 8 points. Werribee can join them on 8 points with a win today. And then the Northern Blues on 4 points. And Coburg yet to open their accounts.
Montfrees has won the toss, Pete, and he will kick to the left of your screen if you're tuning in at home.
This is the only game of Peter Jackson VFL for today around the grounds. It's the D's by 14, 10 minutes into the second quarter in the AFL game. 5-4, 34 to 3 to 20. The score line there, the D's are leading, and of course, a bit of a battle going on. Your Hawks, my Lions, a little bit later on today up at the Gabba. Our Lions, Hilly, as we come down to you to get the ground and weather conditions for today.
Yeah, well, the wind is really howling at the moment, and it will be an advantage to the left of screen. It's hard to put a gauge on the goals just at the moment. We'll rather see the ball in flight, but you'd be looking at probably anywhere from a 4 to 5, maybe even a 6-goal breeze. It's really stiffened in the last 10 minutes or so, and with a bit of luck, as the siren gets me, with a bit of luck, the rain might go wide of us, but got to say it doesn't look too good off in the distance.
So we say, are you feeling lucky, Hilly?
It is that sort of scenario today, but we'll see how we go.
Oh, beautifully done. Thank you.
But the ground is in fantastic condition. And I think we are set for a tight battle. And as I said earlier, the Werribee Spirit, I think they'll be out to show everybody today in the VFL what they're made of. So.
And that's what happens when you don't play on a ground for a year. It gets time to settle in. You can re-sow it, all that sort of stuff. So good to see. Yep, and a nice crowd building up, but the Footscray supporters having a chance to come down and see their side live after playing in the wet in Adelaide on Friday night. And Werribee, well, they're building up nice community support, and certainly function always packed. The new function room got a little balcony over the top there as well, so it's a magnificent setup. Not too far away from a start here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Werribee and Footscray, round 7 action, and looking forward to next week back at Sandringham's. You'll be there, Leedsy. I'll be around the grounds in Paris. It'll be Sandringham next week for us here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Just looking at Berry in the middle, he's got a big job today, doesn't he? He's got Campbell and also English to contend with him. Might get a little chop out throughout the afternoon, but it's going to be a lot to ask of him. Harry Boyd might be the man for Werribee, who does some work in the middle of the ground. English looks like he has gone to the middle. Tashevsky Beckwith along with Jong will contest this first clearance, and also Callum Porter for Footscray.
So all's in readiness. Everyone's off the ground who shouldn't be on there. And we're set to go. Round 7, Werribee and Footscray here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Campbell started forward with Shackey for Footscray as well, and we're underway. Both sides desperate for the 4 points this afternoon. English 1, 2, 3 times, couldn't take it away. It's a hot footy initially. There's some strong tackling, good stuff sort of Marco. Spilt out the back momentarily, taken forward for Werribee. Gets it just to the point of the square. There's no clean mark. Then John got a toe poke. It came to Gribble. He got it across to Munro. Little right foot wasn't any good. To Classes, and underneath it, he's trying to get rid of it. He's going to be okay. He did the old, I'm hitting the ball and pretending I'm trying to get it out, and that got him out of trouble, and the umpire will toss it up. 45 away. Werribee inside the 50. English knocked it down. Gribble tried to spin out of 1 and 2 tackles. Ball spilt free. Roberts with a clearing kick. Got 55, but Barrick's got the sit here. He tries to get around his man. Ball spilt free. Big Berry's in there. He's wrapped up well. That's a good contest from the big men, and they'll toss it up centre wing right in front of our commentary position.
The dark clouds hovering over. Hilly's hoping they go around us. Oh, I'm not so sure. Berry getting the ball down to Hanson. Immediately dispossessed. We've got a stalemate. The umpire will come in and throw the ball up again. No scorers yet. 1 minute in. On Peter Jackson VFL Live on Aussie Digital. We're video and audio streaming through vfl.com.au, also through the app as well. Now, Monfries was taken off the footy. In fact, it's Tashevsky Beckwith who was taken off the footy. The kick going clear. Works to Corbett. And Corbett will kick inside the 50. Dangerous footy. Getting hands to it was Hooper, the 100 gamer today. 100th VFL game, we should say. The kick going across the face of goal. Hayes able to run out, though, for Footscray. His kick is good. It's very good. Finds Josh Wallace right in the middle of Avalon Airport Oval. Very, very open 50, and it's going to be turned over. Campbell caught at the back, and Werribee a chance to load up again. They're just holding the space well, and Boyd's got it.
He heads to the outer side. That's a good win for Boyd in the back half. This is Porter, is it? No, Brett, who's taken a nice mark on the outer side underneath the scoreboard. 2 going in this opening term. Yet to register anything for either side. Long ball down the line. Biggs is going to come across. Roberts held his man out of it nicely. Don't tell Clarko. And he's got it at half back. Looking for something left initially, but decided to go down the line. He's asking for a big pack of players to do something, and I tell you what, Josh Shackey does. He pulls it down, goes onto his left boot to half forward. Footscray inside the 50, there's not going to be a mark. Numbers with Werribee initially as the ball hits the deck. Little one over the top for Sharp. He gives it back to McFarlane, who kept working. Down the line he comes, and that was well played. He finds Corbett at half back. Skill's pretty good early, given the slippery conditions that we may face this afternoon. Across the ground to Collins from Sharp to Barrick, who needs to get round his man. That's a neat enough ball, although it didn't quite make it. Sort of Marco comes in to lend a hand, needs to get rid of it. Pressure arrives for Footscray. They come up with it. English got it backwards to Hayes. Hayes goes back, finds Shackey, back to Hayes. He squares them off across the ground, and Tashevsky Beckwith takes the mark.
Oh, he's one of our favourites, Tashevsky Beckwith. Got a free player. It's Rourke Smith who takes the mark. Still edge of the centre square, centre wing. His kick up towards half forward, not his greatest, but Fergus Green got time to run onto it. He's worried off the footy, though. Great defensive pressure again by the Bees. And as that kick stayed in from Sam Collins, it has, and Corbett takes it right in front of the interchange benches, Hilly.
Looked to be juggled over the line there, but paid the mark.
We're not near the umps advisors today, Hilly. You can go with whatever you like as the kick going up the line. No, I can take the mark. Working hard was Morris, trying to get hands onto it and laying the tackle as well. Bulldogs fans will be happy with that. As he returns from injury, and the umpire will throw the ball up. Marcus Adams also in the team today. Lin Jong called him a couple of times. Ball thrown up. Berry with the front position. Ball off hands. Maishman couldn't have a clean run at it. Another pack of players forms, and it's going nowhere again. And the umpire will come in to intervene. As Simeopoulos works his way out. Ball will be thrown up again.
Whistle on play, holding the man, going to Footscray. English with the footy at half back. In front of a well-populated crowd. It must be said they've come late, and there's a nice bit of bubbling atmosphere in this one early. Monfries takes the juggling chest mark at half back. He's going to switch and go to Young. In the heart of his defensive 50, goes further afield. This is a slightly more direct ball. De Class had half a chance against Hayes. Good one-on-one. They had a bit of each other's jumper. Allowed to go on, said the umpire. Allows the cavalry to arrive, and the umpire says, "You've had your fun. My turn now, kids." Centre wing, underneath the scoreboard here. 5 gone. Good start to this one, even though we haven't had a score.
Yep, it's been competitive. Ball through the hands of Jong. Oh, at his jumper being held there was Petterwood. Not seen by the umpire. And now Footscray away again. And the kick going towards the 50. But now they've got a ball inside the 50. It's going all the way. There's holding going on.
Bounce through.
Keep an eye on Lin Jong there, Hilly.
It is going to be a goal. So I think Shackey was trying to come back and say, well, you know, I could take this kick. Instead, he didn't need to. Now, what's happened with Lin Jong?
Yeah, I didn't see the actual contact. He was on all fours for some time. He's been given a towel in case he's bleeding. He looks a little...
I think it might have been a head clash, Leedsy. Certainly taking some contact to the face and was holding his face when he came up. But,
so he comes off with the blood rule. So just a
wondering
slight
whether
delay.
He looks a little groggy too as he comes off.
I'll just give the score. 1 straight 6 Bulldogs. Werribee yet to score. 6 minutes gone in the opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Certainly looks a little groggy coming off the ground now.
I don't like to see that early in the game. He's on his own steam, but yeah, it might be a little stunned there. Hilly will be all over that. As the afternoon gets going. So we're back in the middle. Mason got McComb for company there. Good smother there from the young man too. Spilled out the back. Chance for Campbell. Was taking the ground. Was that holding the footy? It was. Werribee a chance to bounce back. It was Tashevsky Beckwith, in fact, who was caught. Hanson to Sharp with a little ball. He's going to go from 80 out. Sets it to 25 out. Chance for Young to go. Was he taken out of the contest? No. The mark will stand. 15 out directly in front. Corbett, the man who's had a bit of an impact in the opening 7 minutes of play.
Just get that real strong feeling that Werribee have set themselves for today. Against this tough Footscray lineup. Started very well.
And that won't hurt the spirit levels, Hilly. 1 straight 6 apiece. 7 gone, opening term.
It's certainly a 4 or even 5 goal advantage, you would say, kicking to that left of screen. And I get the feeling that Footscray have kind of wasted it so far. We're only looking at running a short way into the first quarter, but they haven't really had too many forward 50 entries, and Werribee are just doing enough around the ball and keeping it congested, and certainly suiting them at the moment, and they run and spread when they can.
So ball back in the middle. 1 straight 6 apiece. We've gone 8 minutes in the opening quarter. You're on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Changing the rucks for both teams, but the clearance again. McComb for Footscray, putting the ball deep inside 50. Nash is there, off to Shacky, off a step. Oh, he's going to kick one, yes! This time he gets his goal. First of the afternoon for him, and they're 2 straight 12, playing 1 straight 6 here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
It's great, got front and centre there after the marking contest. Great roving and great snap. There's no doubting Shacky's skill, and I'm sure we were talking about this a little bit beforehand, Pete. It's just his aerobic capacity. He's working on it. He's working hard on it, and it's starting to pay dividends at VFL level, and it might translate into AFL level later in the year.
So all of a sudden, after not much doing in the opening 6 minutes, bang, 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 12-6, a goal to lead for the Bulldogs, and we're set to go again in the middle. And it will be Boyd contesting this one against Campbell, who gets a good fist of it, but couldn't find a teammate initially. Tashevsky Beckwith just kept on the footy. Well played, young man. Left foot driven to half forward. Markers dropped, but can they be good enough to pick it up quickly? They are. It was from Mullinger McHugh who knocked it down. A long ball inside the 50. Out the back, Campbell. Can he get to work at ground level? He's got Berry for company, plus 1 or 2 others. A ball spills free. It's going to come with half a chance, but no, it's stolen away. That was okay for Sotomaco, but his kick was smothered. William, little handball, didn't find a teammate. Gee, she's a hot footy at the moment. Still to be won. We're on the 50 for Footscray. And it came to William, who did win it in the end. Handball over the top. Was that a free kick? Barrick comes in over the top. Sotomaco around the footy. Gribble over the top as well. Fierce stuff in this opening term. 10 gone, 12-6. Bulldogs in front.
So the umpire will get it going. Campbell, second and third efforts, off to William. They work it around now. Hayes, 360s, and then kicks inside the 50. It's a good kick. Nice juggling effort from Monfries. And the skipper will have a shot at goal. We talked about making use of the breeze, Hilly. They're starting to do that now.
Yeah, you must have heard me about a minute and a half ago, because they've definitely got all the ball in the last 90 seconds. And such a skillful player, Monfries wouldn't put this past him.
Well, they would be, because you're right on the interchange benches. The kick from Monfries, it's going to miss everything. Out of bounds on the full. 10.5 gone in the opening quarter. 2 goals played, 1 goal.
Nothing like cursing a player that early in a game.
It looks like Lynn John's back on the ground too.
Yeah, he's just been cleared. Just strolled back onto the ground in the last 10 seconds.
McFarlane, dangerous ball. Gee, he asked a bit of Collins, who was up to the task there. And he had Semipoulos right behind him. He's going to go across the ground. He's found a man with a bit of time. That's Barrick, who stops and props and waits for the chest mark to arrive. Takes it in the red basket and goes with a right boot. Gee, that's a nice, strong set of hands from Aylett, who's got it at half-back. He was made to work by Callum Porter, but was good enough to hold on to it. Now, Berry's waving his hands in the middle. He's going to ignore that and go to a short, half-contested mark for Gribble, who took it in front of Hayes. He directs some traffic in the tangerine boots. Going to go on his left and utilise them well. Sets it up. There's a big fly at the back, but no mark. Then Jong straight into the action to Class. Couldn't quite get the ball free, but did lay a good, strong tackle. And they'll toss it up underneath the scoreboard. Here at the reinvigorated Avalon Airport Oval. Broman's in there. He's trying to get it out, but he's got a couple of tacklers, and this is doing nothing. See sort of Marco just revving the men up there. Very happy with this contested work. Came from Aylett. He tumbles it forward to Class. Goes to work on Roberts. 1-on-1 towards the line. And the defender's friend wins the day. They'll toss it back in where the arc meets the boundary line. Just about under the light tower here, which is on. Hilly's obviously put in a request.
And the sun's just come out a little bit too momentarily as it disappears again behind another cloud.
Berry and Campbell. Maishman, little one out the back. Can they use it going inside the 50? It's right to the top of the square. Knocked away from Porter. Ground level work done by the Dogs. Well played. Biggs got it from Roberts. Goes away on his right boot. That's nicely done. He finds Campbell in the back pocket.
He's just going to switch play dangerously. Looking for Rourke-Smith. Finds him. And they've got a free player too. Right over the top. They're spreading it. Shackey needs to keep going. Does. Opponent lost his footing. Kicks up the centre half forward. Good delivery of the football. Mellingham McHugh takes the mark. He goes shorter and finds Simeopoulos. He'll go across the ground. So they come from the broadcast side out to the outer side. Will Hayes dropped what he should have taken. Handball for William. His kick inside the 50 is good. And the mark taken by Jamison Shea, the 23rd player today for Footscray. He'll line up and have a shot. He's on the tight angle. He won't have a shot. He's going to go short. Oh, mark not taken. Coming through there, Mellingham McHugh. He couldn't take it. He was under pressure. And the umpire says throw the ball in about 10 metres around from the behind post.
Yeah, they made a real mess of that, the Dogs. They had a over the top into the inside 50, and Shackey just hesitated. It's cost him probably a goal on that turnover.
Still a chance here at the stoppage, deep in their 50. No one's going to come away with it cleanly. Plenty of numbers around the footy. And we're going nowhere quickly. Umpire will come in and do it again. Jack Henderson from Werribee making sure that that ball wasn't coming out. He was the 5th man on top of the pile. Knocked towards the line momentarily. Strong stuff at ground level from Roman, I should say. And we're going nowhere again. One more, I reckon, Pete, and then I'll hand it over
Rightio.
to the professional to get things cleared.
Well, when we get them, I'll let you know when they arrive.
Ball tossed up. Looking for something at ground level is Campbell. Well tackled. Hayes, ditto. Came to ground again. Knocked away. Well played Werribee's defence initially. Zhong knocked it on. He found Momfrey's little kick over the top, and this is going to be marked. Or out on the full. No. Must have been a juggle over the line or not carried the 15. They'll toss it in. I'll pass you over to Peter McEvoy.
Yeah, okay. It was Pinnock who was the player who juggled that one. Ball tossed back in. Deep into attack here for Footscray. Campbell having his arm held onto. Ball pushed to the top of the goal square. Putting his head down there was Coughlin. But it's a goal. They've turned it over again. And it's Momfries who just swooped in, said, I'll have that, and he kicks a goal. Another one on the board for the Bulldogs, and that's really the goal that they were looking for from the previous turnover. 3 straight 18 plays 1 straight 6.
Yeah, well, Josh Shackey just unfortunately didn't keep going with the over the top on the previous play, which probably about nearly 2 minutes ago now, and we led to all those stoppages. Eventually they get the goal, which is a good thing for the Dogs because they've got to make the most of this wind. It is quite strong. It's certainly getting stronger probably. So, if they're a 4-goal advantage, something like that at quarter time or beyond, I'd say they've achieved what they'd probably need to with this advantage in the first quarter.
Ground filling up nicely too, by the way.
It certainly is. They've come in a little bit late, but it's a great crowd on board for this standalone VFL clash today.
Hansen in the middle, just burrowed his way through, couldn't quite take it away cleanly. Strong stuff. Who's going to come up with it? Wonderful tackle from Maishman. Ball spilled free. Hansen goes back again. And this is a contest. Don't worry about that. Difficult conditions for broadcasters this afternoon as the smell of the barbecue just wafts past our position on centre wing.
Patience.
Ground level. It's magnificent stuff for punters. Still to be won by Hayes. He couldn't quite get a handle on it. Dalglish did. He pumped it inside the 50. Good, strong mark. Well played, Henderson. He goes quickly, gets it to Collins, heads to Maishman, and Werribee can set themselves at the wing.
They can as the kick goes in short. That's okay. Taken by Collins. 18 plays 6. 16, almost 17 minutes gone in the opening quarter. As the kick goes long and high, Fletcher Roberts going to sit underneath it. It's going to be out of bounds on the full anyway. He's in good position to take the free kick.
That ball really held up in the wind there. You could see that ball probably didn't even travel 40 metres from Collins, who can certainly kick a ball. So it really does show, if you're kicking into the breeze today, your very best will probably travel about 40.
Kick to kick, Harry Boyd takes the mark for Werribee. Defensively, just tries to hack it up the line. And Footscray trying to just keep the ball in front of them. That was a throw. No call from the umpire. Shea is there. He's ridden into the ground. The umpire will throw it up. So English picks himself up. Going to work with Berry. Berry gets the tap down, but only as far as Dalgleish. Dalgleish kicking up towards half forward. Has that mark been taken? It has. Fergus Green, point of the square attacking side for Footscray. Now, will he decide to go long? No. He goes shorter. Finds the big ruckman, who will kick inside 50. Good fist coming in from Maishman. Under pressure, did well.
Really not smart play from the Dogs. They're kicking with a really strong breeze, and about 5 of their last 6 entries have been to that forward pocket.
Agree.
They need to be start targeting. They've got great tall advantage in the forward line, and they're not utilising it. They need to be targeting the top of the goal square.
So Werribee get it away for just the moment. Biggs is asking a question. He's not getting the answer that he'd like. They'll toss it back in.
Around the grounds, so I'll give you an AFL score. Well, we've got the opportunity here. Half-time D's by 31, 10-4-64 to Carlton, 5-3-33. D's travelling all right at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, now that I've said that.
English and Berry go to work on each other. This is strong stuff at ground level. Green did well, forced it out, but Aylett came up with a footy. Little one around the corner. Like Williams' game so far. Inside the 50, the mark is taken. And that's nice stuff. The kick will come from Mullinger McHugh, who's outside the 50 on a 45-degree angle, but the work being done really all across the ground has been impressive from Williams.
He should have no trouble kicking the distance here too, Leedsy. It's strong breeze. Should ride it home.
And that's Ruben William I'm referring to there, as the kick is on its way. He's given it every single chance, and it's made the distance. The Dogs get their 4th of the afternoon. Their 4th straight 24, if you don't mind. Werribee 1 straight 6, almost into time on in the opening stanza.
Dogs starting to get some reward, and they definitely needed it. And now stretch that margin out to 18 points. About to tick over into time on. So they've just got on top. They're doing enough around the ball, and they deserve their lead at the moment.
So the ball back in the middle. Almost into time on now. 20 minutes gone. Just ticked over. As we said, a good crowd on what is a wet day here in Werribee. English and Berry. Berry had it all to himself, but English stayed down, tapped it to Jong, who was pushed off his kick. Now he could get clear. Shea did really well. Good handball across, but Sol Tchevsky-Beckwith into trouble, and he's been ping-folding the footy in the middle of the ground. Hansen to take the free kick for Werribee. He kicks short to McFarlane, who can go for a run and kick up towards half forward. Nice kick, spots the 100 gamer, 100 VFL gamer in Hooper. That kick should be okay. Oh, just in the nick of time. Nicely done, and Corbett takes the mark. He's on a tight angle, but he'll only be kicking from 35 metres out. And this one, as we say, Hilly, when you're right near the Werribee race, you'd be practising from here during your training runs, wouldn't you?
Yes, you certainly would, and this one should bend a little bit right to left, so let's see if he aims out that way.
Already kicked a goal today. Make that through! Against the breeze, and they've got their second. 2 straight 12 playing, 4 straight 24. 21 minutes gone in this opening quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Sensational kick from that pocket, and he aimed it out just slightly outside the right goalpost, and it bent back on the breeze, just slightly into the breeze. But if you're going to kick it from a pocket, probably that is the side of the ground to be shooting from at that end of the ground anyway. Good work hanging in there, and certainly if they can get to quarter time within that 3 to 4 goal range with the breeze at the back in the second quarter, it's not a bad result really.
I think you've picked the eyeballs out of this, Hilly. Pre-game, you said that we could rely on Werribee to give us effort, and that's exactly what we're getting. Berry in the middle. No clean takeaway. Broman, he was picked up by Campbell and Dashevsky Beckwith. Campbell didn't need the help in the end.
And you can count that last goal to Matt Hansen, who laid a great tackle in the centre square.
Yep.
The Dogs were totally away. It was a chase down tackle, and that probably turned a goal that could have come from Footscray the other way.
Campbell, Hayes, well played. Just down from the hand, straight to foot if you don't mind, without taking possession. Barrack, did he tackle his man in the back? Allowed to go on. Sharp was taken too high by Hayes. No whistle on play. Barrack's going back with the footy. Here's taken. He might have been legged. Allowed to go on. Brett too sharp with the handball. At ground level to be picked up. Aylett couldn't quite. Came through. Green half a chance, but wasn't first there. His teammate was. Pinnock's over the top of them, and they'll toss it up. 45 out, 45-degree angle. Wallace, the man at ground level. Campbell, Jong, got through a couple and then kicked it out of bounds on the full.
And that's one of the areas that Lin Jong needs to clean his game up. That's just not on that kick. It's not a team kick, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's in the VFL and not the AFL at the moment. Just a real against team rules type play that was.
Premiership player with Footscray. Lin Jong, this is going to be turned over. Shaki coming in to make the contest. Gribble under all sorts of trouble, trying to get some support. Here's English, tight on the boundary line. Goes with the handball. Dangerous proposition because it's going to be turned over again. Good tackle again by English on Boyd, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up.
Really important game for Lin Jong today, so he needs to just take that type of thing out of his game. He's a better player than that.
Ball tossed up. Campbell, Berry. Give that one to Berry. Jong just pushed it down, and the umpire will come in and intervene again. 24 plays 12, 24 minutes gone in this opening quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live today. Avalon Airport Oval looking magnificent. Campbell got the tap down, but it's going to come up Werribee's way as the kick goes outside the 50. It's going to come straight back in again through Hayes. His kick into the pocket. Did English have enough of it? No, out of bounds on the full. It's out of bounds on the full. Again, Harry Boyd doing a lot of the heavy lifting back there for Werribee. Almost 24 and a half minutes gone. That kick off the side of the boots. Hansen's got to go. He puts the fist in. Ball pinballing around at 50 for Footscray. Good tackle from William. Ball going nowhere now. Jong retrieving. Hayes had to go and pick it up. He still has to go and pick it up. Now he's tackled. He's not going anywhere in a hurry. Nash back down to Jong, kicking inside the 50. And Barrack takes a juggling mark for Werribee, and they'll reset.
Yeah, they're just hanging in here. They're doing a mighty fine job of it, but Footscray with a lot of the footy until now. And the turnover comes from Barrack, and Simiopoulos takes the mark directly in front from outside the arc.
And should make the distance too, you'd think.
Might be just on his range, so we'll see how he goes with this.
24-12 before the kick.
He's certainly taking a long run up. He's nearly in the centre circle.
Sort of your Michael Holding style.
25 and a half gone opening term. Footscray for a 3-goal break. It's going to get the distance, but it's away to the right. That's their first blemish. 4-1-25 to 2 straight 12. 25 and a half gone in the opening term.
Is it raining at the moment, Hilly?
It's not on this side of the ground. Could be on the other though. It certainly looks dark at the moment.
It does. Coughlin doing the kicking in duties. Kick short, finds Pinnock. Pinnock thinking about going back that way. Decides to go up the line. On the grandstand side, the newly renovated grandstand. His kick, Jong, front position. Just taps it to ground. Coming through again, Dalglish. His kick is high. It's inside 50 and it's going to be marked. They've done that well. Mullingham McHugh takes the mark. And he will have a shot from 45 metres out. And he should have no problem with the distance.
Yeah, he'll be fine with the distance, Pete. It's just the accuracy here. Just needs to slot this one for the Dogs because time's ticking away in this quarter. Only probably a couple of minutes to go. There's only been 7 scoring shots.
So in he comes, 26 and a half gone in the opening term. Kick on the way, bending back nicely. He's got it. Now the Doggy fans are in the house. Second goal, Mullingar McHugh. And Footscray, as we suspected with this breeze, making the most of it. 5-1-31, playing 2 straight 12. 27 gone in the opening term here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
As I said, Peter, can't see this quarter going too much longer than the 30-minute mark. So it wouldn't be more than about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes left. There's only been the 8 scores now for the quarter. And the Dogs probably need another one to make the most of this breeze. I think Werribee have done extremely well.
Just we will set you a task at quarter time, Hilly. Find out who kicked the first goal for Footscray.
Yeah, Hilly. Thanks, mate. English knocked it down.
Asking for a friend.
Couldn't take it. Jong. Handball back to Hayes. Okay, high ball. Who's going to go with this? English has got the 6 and he takes the mark. Had his name written all over it. He's going to go in his right boot to the pocket. There's a strong lead deep in the pocket. Barrick's going to go to work defensively. He takes it to the line. Oh, it's flicked back beautifully. Can Footscray keep it in? Little one over the top from Biggs. Couldn't find a teammate. Nash is there. He couldn't get a hold of anyone either. Came to Brett off hands. He bombs down the wing. That's well taken at half back. And they can build along the scoreboard wing. Down the line they go. Porter couldn't take it for Werribee. Knocked on. And unfortunately it's not going to come up with anything too meaningful, but they did clear the zone at the 28-minute mark. When you're kicking into the breeze, that's not a bad result. 12 trails 31. It's the Bulldogs in front.
So wait for the boundary umpire to get into position and toss back in. Berry over the top, getting the tap down. Only as far as McComb, though. He tried to get the handball away, and now it's trapped underneath, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 31 plays 12. 28, almost 29 minutes gone. I'll give you a warning, Leedsy. The siren will be loud when it comes. You'll know it's there. That's all I'll say. As Hayes just trying to pick it up, works back to English. Goes around the body with a high kick. And the 215s go at it. And it was Campbell, Collins with the fist over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in. 29 gone. 31 plays 12. Footscray leading Werribee here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Maishman out the back of the ruck contest. He's got company there in Jamison Shea. Protecting the back of this ruck contest. Looks like Zhong's got a run with. Was that a free kick? English did well. He concentrated on the footy and came up with it. Tashevsky Beckwith got it from Zhong. Around the corner he goes. Sharp slipped over. It's getting wet underfoot, and now he's going to receive a high free kick.
Very timely free kick there, and they should just steady here. Look to hit a target and choose some more time off the clock.
Looks like Broman's doing a job on Lin Zhong. We'll keep an eye on that one, as this ball is out of bounds on the full hilly, going across the ground as well as into their face.
It is a bit, but it is a bit swirly as well, and even just the last shot at goal from Mullingar McHugh, it bent right to left, but on the outer side of the ground, the ball tends to bend to the far side, so it certainly is swirling. You can see that again with that kick there.
Yeah, Hayes looking for Biggs, had to come forward to try and pick it up, and the second effort was excellent. Just pushing the ball back. Smith will go back to Young at defensive 50. He kicks across the ground, and we're just going to go round and round in circles. There's not a lot on offer up forward as the kick going long. Barrick just getting through the traffic. His kick is good, and that work it to Brett, who kicks across the ground, looking for McFarlane. Still on the grandstand side, still inside 50. His kick in for the class. Did it pitch inside? No. Good pressure from Smith. And the umpire says, give it to me. We'll throw it in. Just into attack for Footscray. Almost 31 minutes gone in this opening term. 31 plays 12 here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
So Footscray, you think the only chance to score. Berry knocked it down. Petterwood couldn't quite go with the footy. He bounces back and lays a strong tackle. Dalglish got it the kick away though. Make that Green's got it. He's going to have to go from 53. He goes deep into the pocket. Couldn't find a teammate through hands.
Again, Footscray just killing themselves kicking to the pockets in this game. The forward delivery has been poor, and I'm sure that'll be talked about at quarter time.
Can they score from stoppage here? Sharp works his man Barrack around to get to Momfries. No spare men in the defensive 50. Berry, Jong, Momfries. Second time, handball, Shacky. Beautiful tackle. Did Jong get in the top of Broman's back? I thought he might have, and yes, he has. Just keep an eye on that contest. It'll be a good one to watch all afternoon. Broman comes away on his right boot. 2-on-2 in the air. Free kick going the home side's way. 32 ticking by as they come up with the footy at half back. What's down the line? Porter works hard. Buries the target. Morris comes over the top. Knocks it down. At ground level, Hooper couldn't come up with it. It's good stuff from William again. He came away, got it to Green, who's got it at half back. He kicks a high ball to the middle.
He does. Campbell's got to go. He just managed to tap it into some sort of space. Mellingham McHugh got the handball away to Hayes, who kicks inside 50. Ball over the head of the initial pack. And Barrack working back. Works well. He's got teammates alongside. One of those is Henderson. His kick up the line is okay. Have they got time for one more? Maybe. Sotomarco going short finds Munro. Munro can go for a run. He's got to put the ball in long. Player taken off the footy. It was Porter. He's going to take the free kick. Now this will be tough with the breeze. He's kicking from 55. So he's just going to go into the pocket. Hooper! If you didn't get it the first time, didn't need to run for 25 seconds that. And I think he's juggled it over the line. He has. And that will be quarter time here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. An entertaining contest, this one. Bulldogs 5-1-31, Werribee 2 straight 12. That quarter going 32 minutes and 58 seconds.
I hope you're enjoying our Win the Break clash.
We certainly are.
CDC Victoria and
We've got 4 of them. Hilly's going to find out the 5th. Josh Shacky 1 to Momfries, and 2 to the M&M man, Mellingham McHugh, who's kicked the ball beautifully. Corbett with a double for Werribee at quarter time.
Look out. Oh, we're in trouble now.
We best start behaving very quickly.
Oh, no. Great down here at Werribee. Everything's fine. No, nothing to see here. No problems at all. 5-1-31 the Bulldogs. Werribee 2 straight 12. Back with second quarter action next on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
It's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wick up first. Craig Lowndes
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Back here at Avalon Airport Oval, it is quarter time, and it is the away team, Footscray, today with the advantage at quarter time. But Werribee, very, very good quarter from them. We'll get down to Glenn Hill in just a moment. He's having a listen to what the coaches have to say, and he's just hovering outside the Footscray huddle as we speak. And I'll give you that around the ground score too. Demons by 37, 11-4-70 to 5-3-33, 1 minute into the third quarter in that match. Just a little bit up the road today. So plenty to look forward to. And just seeing the two huddles there. I mean, impressive from both sides, I thought, in that opening quarter. Really, really good. That's a siren, by the way, in case you were wondering.
The wind is going to be an interesting factor, isn't it? I mean, Hilly spoke about needing to use it well when you get the opportunity, and he'll get to the Footscray coach, I think Steve Grace, at quarter time to get his thoughts on how it went. But it'll be interesting to see. We always need to wait until half time to have a look at when both sides have had access to the breeze. But Werribee did bring a lot of effort. I don't think they were outplayed by not having a crack. So if they can just tidy up that ball use going forward with the breeze, I think we'll see a much more even scoreboard at half time.
Yeah, make sure if you haven't downloaded the Peter Jackson VFL app, you do so. It is absolutely free and going very, very nicely. You can tune in to our broadcast. You can check out the matches that are being played around the place. All the information you need is there. Plenty of news, all the different stats and ladders and everything else that you could possibly want in this app. Let's go down to you, Hilly.
Thanks, Pete. Just joined by Steve Grace. How'd you see that first quarter? The forward entries, you had plenty of them. Did you think you capitalised enough?
No, it's never enough, is it? So we would have liked to have kicked a few more. We went a little bit wide when we would have liked to go a little bit straighter. But all credit to, Werribee. They were rolling a couple of forwards forward, and there was a couple of numbers we had to deal with.
Certainly getting a lot of good first use out of the ruck.
Yeah, we are. I was a bit disappointed with the first 15 minutes, to be honest. We out of the centre bounce stuff. Ran the ground okay. And clearly Werribee will try and close it up around stoppage. We've got to try and probably push the ball out a little bit further and let our blokes move on to it.
Use a bit of leg speed.
Yeah, we've got a bit in there. Jongy spent 20 minutes off the ground, so with him back in, hopefully we can get that.
Beautiful. Thanks for your time again, Steve.
Beautifully done. Thank you, Hilly. Steve Grace, the coach of Footscray. It's interesting that because 5-1-31 playing 2 straight 12, you'd think things are going okay, but as we pointed out, having that breeze and a couple of times when they were going inside 50, they really didn't finish off, and that would be the most disappointing thing because they're setting up nicely.
It was exactly as Hilly was calling it. They just ended up in the pockets too often, and unfortunately they weren't able to make the most of it. But he did comment on Berry's first 15 minutes. I think we should pay tribute to it. It's not an easy task for the big man. He knows he's coming up against two guys with AFL experience, but he's a big lump of a lad, isn't he? And he's not leaving anything to the imagination. He's having a real crack, and I think we're going to see some tired boys who have been running around in the middle all afternoon. He's going to do it again to start this second term off.
Not sure you're allowed to start the game with a runner on the ground.
That's that is interesting because he's still on the ground. He actually went out and had a chat to Ruben William, who's
I don't know that you're allowed to start the game with a runner on the ground.
Well, the umpires are all watching what's going on, so they can see that he's there.
Not too fine a print in the rule book for me, Hilly. I'll leave that one with you. Jong's back in the middle now. Marco wrapped him up.
Do you do a head count?
No, I can get to 10. Here's English. Knocked it forward. Broman. Did I get taken without it? No. No free kick there. Biggs goes away with the footy. It's a half forward. It's punched away by Brack. Good stuff from Green. Oh, strong stuff at the back from Collins, who wouldn't let him go. Ball did spill free in the end. Campbell having ball back inboard to Nash, who got away from one tackler. Kicks inside the 50. Pinnock's going back, and he takes a nice mark on the last line of defence. Now, which way is he going to take this ball? He's been called to play on. He heard a call. He needs to find a man. Broman's called it, and he takes it in front of Zhong, and he's doing quite nicely in that matchup, must be said. Looks like he's got Zhong for the afternoon. He's going to bomb this long. English and Berry. Young's at the back, had the sit, knocked away though. A foot race on the wing. It's got going forward by Corbett. He goes on the outside of the right boot. It'll get it to the 50, but not beyond that. Munro came in to clean up. De Classes on the end of it. Little handball tried to pick the eye of a needle and couldn't quite. Here comes Smith. Handball's okay, and now they're away.
Yeah, Williams got it. Just managed to get away from the tackler. Wallace there, handballing around, working there. Adams. And back to Young for Footscray. Kicking up the line, up towards centre wing. Off hands. Who's going to break clear here? It's in a dangerous position. Working hard was Porter. And that's Callum Porter we're talking about for Footscray, but he's turned the footy over. Sotomarco gets things going. Petalwood kicking inside the 50. Good build up, but it's going to be turned over again. The Bulldogs are away. Biggs can go for a run. Through middle of Avalon Airport Oval, works with Rourke Smith, gets the ball back now, kicks up the line, and that's not a bad spot up. Coming up the ground, Fergus Green.
He takes it nicely in his hands and then goes quickly to Shackey, who's got it tucked up against the boundary line. Campbell's the target through his hands, out the back, well played. That's good stuff, McFarlane. Right boot. Goes to Petalwood, who's got to bend down and pick it up. He did well. Got it to Collins. Kick under pressure, so it's high. Goes to the wing. English has got the sit. Couldn't take it, though, through his hands. Smith shepherded the ball. Needed to go at it. Was just trying to protect the space for English, but Hooper came up with it. Got it to Hanson. They're running through the middle of the ground. Here's this running gun they were talking about. Sharp's on the end of it. Can he find a man? He does. Hooper in game number 100 from 49. Misses.
Oh, tell you what. I call him the celebrator, Leedsy. That would have been enormous if he had to kick that, the celebration. He would have high-fived you on the boundary, Hilly. Wouldn't even be coming off.
2-1-13 to 5-1-31, 3 gone, second term.
They're certainly immediately looking dangerous this quarter, Werribee, with their ball movement. They talked about that at quarter time, and I think you'll see them very competitive in this match.
Here's William for Footscray, just trying to get out of defence. Good tackling pressure again.
I can tell you that Werribee in the first quarter had 15 defensive tackles, and considering they were outnumbered in the forward entry 50s by triple, that really held them in good stead throughout that first quarter.
English trying to get front position again, going to work with Berry. It was Berry who got the tap down, but ball going nowhere. The umpire will throw it up half forward for Werribee. Bulldogs 31, Werribee 13, 3.5 gone in this third quarter. We'll go around the grounds in a moment. Berry launching over the top to find Munro, who has a flying shot at the goal. Just can't bring it back enough from 47. And it's 2-2-14 the Bees. Bulldogs 5-1-31, 4 minutes gone, second quarter.
So Footscray all of a sudden just need to settle things for a moment. They're not going to. Hazes quickly away to Young, through his hands, but good enough to compose himself, pick up the footy and drive it to the wing. Won't make it to the contest he was after with Shackey. Well played, Brett, got it back to Barrick. Away they come from half back. Getting some direction on the outer flank there is Henderson. He listened and went back down the line, and that's a nice set of hands from Corbett. A good contest between him and Young throughout the afternoon. He goes with a little ball. That's okay initially, but punched away by Biggs. Turnovers on, though, from Footscray to Werribee Sotomarco. Good tackling at ground level. Biggs comes in over the top. Umpire allowed it to go for a moment, but there was nothing doing, and Porter forces a stoppage.
D's by 50. 14-5-89 to 5-3-33. 9 minutes gone, third quarter.
So from the stoppage, it's the Dogs, Zhong, who comes away with it, kicks to space, and they might be on here. It's the M&M. He kicks a long ball. It wasn't his best. It didn't get any clean contact at all. In fact, there was nothing really good about it in the end. Shaki tried to come and meet the footy. No good. He's going to come up with it now, though. Swings it round the body. Inside the 50. It's 2-on-1 for Werribee. Well played. Good stuff, Pinnock. He heads to the outer wing. Not a good kick, though. Campbell takes it.
He does, and he's going to put the ball in high and long. Pinnock's got to go again. He can't do so, but there's plenty of numbers back. Barrack receives from Collins. And he's got plenty of time. He kicks deep outside the 50. William! Oh, had to put the hands up. Didn't complete the mark, but no free kick. The handball going in. He's going to get it back again. Received it from Nash. His little kick over the top, not bad. In fact, it's great. Marcus Adams takes the mark. Oh, did he have enough of that?
See, what he didn't do is he didn't lose his feet.
As Adams kicks to the top of the square. No one can take the mark. Plenty of numbers down here for Werribee, and Barrack will clear again. Sort of going barrel style, and guess what? Marcus Adams has taken the mark. Right near you, Hilly.
He's a brute of guy, Marcus Adams. Really extremely well built, and you can see why the AFL senior team have missed him so much so far this season.
Well, he's turned over the footy. Coming in, taking the mark is Sharp. Half back, near the boundary line, on the grandstand side. 31 Bulldogs, Werribee 14. As Sharp goes up the line. Ooh. Big pack of players. Young in the front position, couldn't take the mark, but plenty of numbers here for Werribee. Gribble got time on centre wing, and he squares it up beautifully. Petterwood working there with Hansen. Gets around a couple. His kick's partially smothered. William comes in for Footscray. His handball over the top. Dangerous. Good tackling pressure again from Werribee. And sitting there, Ethan Petterwood laying it again. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Callum Porter a bit slow to get to his feet. As the ball's thrown up, we'll get to you in a sec, Hilly. As no can break through from this contest. Josh Wallace walking with the footy. How much time did he have? And the umpire says, give it to me. Hilly, to you.
I was just going to mention Ruben William there. He's had a lot of it, and I'll see if I can get the stats at half time, but he is working hard up and down the ground. Been a very impressive start to the game from him.
Campbell wanted Monfries, had to go himself in the end. Got the handball away to Smith. Right foot gets to the wing. One-on-one initially, beats that contest. The M&M's taken the ground by Brett. Did he have the footy? Umpire said keep going. Pinnock's got his man. It spills to Smith. Oh, gee, it's a hot footy. Down the line he goes. 2-on-1 will suit the home side. And it's taken nicely by Coughlin. He goes to McFarlane. Touch ball as it came off his boot. Trouble here, 3-on-1. Footscray arrive, holding the footy. It'll be their ball outside the arc. Kicking into the breeze, perhaps too far.
Oh,
there's a bit going on. English did the tackling. Tashevsky Beckwith doesn't mind it physical. They're starting to arrive in numbers before some sense prevails.
What's a crack at a 2?
No surprise there. He's wound up as English goes from 60 out, sets a high ball, it's knocked away. Good defensive stuff from Werribee. Now at ground level came to Biggs. Handball inboard, Hooper rode one tackle, but he couldn't ride the second. He's trying to get rid of it. Nash has got him. And that's good stuff also from Simiopoulos. They'll toss it up inside the 50.
They will. Footscray attacking Werribee with the breeze as Nash, Hayes for Footscray, lost a handle on it now. Petterwood just needs to handball over the top. They're just going to take their time, you think, through here. This Gribble, underground handball is okay. It's going to go in the path of Hooper, is brought down from behind. Play on, said the umpire. Oh, was that incorrect disposal? Obviously not. Dalgleish works it back out. Dangerous footy. Fletcher Roberts has it though. His kick in the middle of the ground is going to be turned over. What can they do here? Bennett, the 23rd player for Werribee. His kick up towards half forward is okay. Just taking their time. Hansen, that's very nicely done. Boy, they worked that out well, the Bees. And Kurt Aylett will have the shot at goal. No, he won't. He kicks into the pocket. And the mark's been taken. Declass has taken it. He's on a tight angle. He'll be kicking from 45 metres out.
It's probably the easier pocket to kick from, though, Pete, if you are having a shot at goal here. And he can try and ride this one on the breeze.
Let's see. Former Northern Blue comes in. No, kicks off the side of the boot. It goes along top of the goal square. No one's on the goal line. It's cleared out though, and it's Tashevsky Beckwith who's got it was all at his own inside 50. He got it across to Hayes, picked it up on the half volley. His kick up the line, looking for Nash. He does take the mark defensively.
Yeah, strong shoulders and a strong set of hands helps him in a bit of trouble there. He tries to get round his man and kick a high ball. Big pack here. English hands in the back, allowed to go on at ground level. Who's going to come up with it? It's Werribee. Good stuff from Berry, who was well tackled. It's strong and willing and everything you'd like. Hansen knocks it towards the line, picked up at ground level. Coughlin had it, lost it, tried to get his man, had him, lost him. Ball spills free as they go towards the line. Coughlin's still involved. Nash ditto. Pinnock's there over the top of Gribble. And wow, that was some fierce football. McComb, the man who made sure that one didn't come out.
D's by 68 points, 15 minutes into the third.
Hansen from the stoppage, around the body, goes on his left boot. Hooper protected the space, and now he has to go and lay a tackle. He did, but not before Hayes got it across to Biggs, who tucks it under the arm and comes away with the ball. A beautifully weighted kick. Magnificent stuff. They've got it at centre wing, and it's going to be Green, who kicks the half forward 2-on-1 though. That suits Collins, and he comes in and takes the mark.
Yeah, but the problem is, while they're holding up the play and got plenty of the footy, they're not scoring. It's Aylett who's got the footy at half back. Now Barracks, an option, goes longer than that. Porter, front position. Well done, William, just to get it to ground. Now he's got to pick up the footy. He does. Handballing into space. Biggs just tapping it along for Adams. Oh, he went over his head. Not the best of options. Fletcher Roberts went the bump on Hooper, but Hooper picked up the footy. Works it across. Maishman, centre half forward. Now the kick going inside 50 is going to be turned over, and Young takes the mark. Defensively, 31 plays 14. Bulldogs leading Werribee. Almost 12 minutes gone. Second quarter.
This kick has been spoiled from the man on the mark. That was the class, and they will toss it back in. 38 around from the point post. Werribee attacking.
Hilly, they just can't find a path to goal at the moment.
No, they can't, and they probably just need to lower the eyes a little bit. They've just bombed away a couple of times. It's certainly hurt them.
So Berry over the top of Campbell at ground level. McComb with Sotomaco for company. Ball spills free. Well played, Tashevsky Beckwith. He bangs it to centre half back. First possession important here. Barrick gets there first. Oh, wonderful tackle at half-back. Terrific stuff, and the Dogs are off and running. Jong picks up the loose ball. Right foot kick is going to ask a lot of Eminem here. He's got a one-on-one near the line. He's picked up. He got the handball away just in the nick of time. McFarlane stole it away and then used it very neatly and found his man Aylett at half-back. The game building nicely. Sharp has it right on the corner of the defensive square. He heads across the ground, asking Maishman to go to work on a ground ball. He picks it up as it looped up magnificently for him. Got it across to Sotomaco. 60 out. Steers the low ball and he finds his man. Beautifully onto the chest of Corbett, who'll take the shot from 2 metres inside the boundary line with about 46 to cover.
Again, it's a hard pocket to kick from at this ground, and it's going to take his best effort from there.
Kick 2 in the opening quarter, has 15 for the year, and this is 5th game. Ball is on its way. He's struck it sweetly enough, but just away to the right-hand side. So one behind, 2-3-15 trails the Dogs, 5-1-31.
Shane Biggs to bring the ball back in for Footscray. We've gone 13 and a half minutes in this second quarter. Biggs kicks to himself. Oh, he's got a bit of indecision. William having to provide the shepherding. This time eventually releases to Adams, who takes the mark and run outside 50. He's got a teammate alongside. It's Young. Young's got some space. He kicks up from centre wing. Putting the ball just into attack here. Green has to go. Now John coming through for Footscray. Got the handball to Green. He's brought down the tackle, released the footy. Working there, Browman across. It's been intercepted by Shea. Green trying to come through again near the boundary line. The ball goes over where the 50 and the boundary line intersect for Footscray. 31 plays 15. So, well, Footscray are just holding them at the moment. Holding. Much like the weather's holding. Look at the weather radar. You might be right, Hilly. It might be going around us. The ball over the top. Tashevsky Beckwith picks it up out of the contest. He can steady. He's a goal kicker. He puts it through. So the other hyphen in the team kicks a goal. And Footscray extend their margin. 6-1-37 playing 2-3-15. 15 gone second quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
And that one's just a killer for Werribee. They've worked so hard this quarter. We're 15 minutes into the quarter. You really feel that Werribee's had the better of the quarter, and unfortunately they haven't been able to put a goal on the board. And the Bulldogs, with only probably about their 4th or 5th entry inside forward 50 for the quarter, jag a goal, and that just hurts. It just really defeats the last 15 minutes of work that Werribee put in.
Did we get that first goal kicker?
I have asked the question, and unfortunately I don't have the answer just yet.
Right, that's your task for the rest of the game. Leesy's very fastidious with his stats. He's very particular about them.
Which is juxtaposed to my inability to count.
I had the feeling that it was Lucky Dalgleish, but I want to check it before I declare it.
Okay.
In the middle, here's Jong. He's starting to have an impact. Swung across by Dashevsky. Beck with G. Made Smith work hard, and he did work hard for him. He was well tackled. Ball spilled free. Morris comes through. Lost the handle on it. Petterwood's around. Jong comes in to lay a hand. Over the top, and eventually it came to Petterwood, to McFarlane, who came through and couldn't quite come up with a footy. Dalgleish is there. Too high. Strong stuff from Shea, who just put his head over it and came up with the ball. He's got Young on off a short. Now he's going to switch this through the middle. Dangerous ball, but effective, because Smith was on the end of it. He takes it nicely. It goes to Roberts, who wants to use his right boot. Heads for Shackey near the line. Can he keep it in? He did momentarily. Long enough, I reckon, to put it to his boot, and then it went out of bounds on the full.
That was nearly undoable. I'm not sure how the big fella did that.
It was never described as a fair game. So Werribee bring it back out. Long ball down the line, no mark here. Dogs had it, but Collins had first hands, and then he toe poked it and ditto his teammate, but Morris was there waiting. Dalgleish the target, turned it over in the middle of the ground.
I wonder how managed Dale Morris is going to be today, because he's moving around quite freely at the moment as Hansen kicks the ball wide. Trying to find players in space. Munro is one of those. And he's kicking the pocket, looking for Corbett. Couldn't take the mark. Now under pressure. Morris got the handball out to Roberts, who has pushed off his kick. Nicely done. And the ball coming in from Pinnock, right on the goal line. Hooper's there in his 100th game. His kick was smothered in the goal square. It's still pinging around, working there. Munro. Now William laying the tackle. Declarts around the body. No, he missed it. From 5 metres out, he went around the body. Oh, another let off for the Bulldogs. 6-1-37 plays 2-4-16. Almost 18 minutes gone in this second quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Coach John Lamont spoke earlier about the inconsistency and the trouble with having some young players. We might just be seeing a bit of that in this second term.
We're having trouble getting the ball back here. Finally, no spare ball behind the goal here. Finally got the ball back, which is a good sign. We can get play back underway.
So big, short, that's okay. They've worked their way across the back pocket. Long ball from William. Wanted a mark, but he didn't get one, and this might allow Werribee in. A big barrel to the top of the square. Young's got the sit to classes there, and they both knock it over in tandem for one behind. 2-5 now, 17 to 6-1-37 as Footscray bring it back in. A dodgy looking old kick. Made his man work for it, and that was Shea, who's not afraid of putting his body in a dangerous position. They came up with it through Dalgleish, who drives the ball along the wing. Monfries.
Jeez.
Gee, Barrick got a bit of him. Lin Jong didn't like that, and sort of Marco didn't like that from Lin Jong, and Hilly's not liking any of it because it's a bit close to him on the boundary.
That was certainly high on Monfries, and yeah, definitely a high contact to the head. Not rewarded.
Ball tossed back in centre wing. As English, ball tapped to ground, going nowhere in a hurry is Pinnock. He lost a handle on English, just pops the ball up. We're still near the centre square. Avalon Airport Oval. The ball spills to the back. McFarlane kicks up the line. Oh, a bit of body work. No call from the umpire. And Corbett says thank you very much because he can kick inside 50. Front position there for Young, for Footscray. They're defending grimly. They still have the numbers. William just shot the ball out. Morris, he used to play for Werribee, I'm being reminded. Worked it to Young. His kick outside the 50 for Campbell. He comes up and takes it on the lead. Still inside defensive 50. His kick across the ground for Hayes. Just going to slow things down, I think, here, Footscray.
Steve Grace touched it on at quarter time. They need to spread a little bit better, and they've done that so far this quarter. I mean, obviously, they're kicking to the breeze, only jagged the one goal, the Dogs, but they've certainly spread better from the contest, and they're using their wingmen a lot better this quarter than they did in the first. So,
ball coming back dangerously. Biggs takes the mark. Still inside defensive 50, Footscray. While Hilly's been talking, the ball has been going backwards. Young in the defensive goal square now for Footscray. And Dale Morris has been on his own for about 35 minutes. Ball eventually is going to come to him, but Petterwood's in the front position. Oh, big over the top from Nash. Couldn't complete the mark. Here's Barrick, though, tight on the boundary line to try and bring it back to the top of the goal square. And Young comes in and takes the mark for Footscray. How can they reset here? 37 plays 17, Footscray leading.
Hayes takes the mark, and welcome back to footy for Dale Morris, who just sat underneath that one so Nash could crash into him. Down the line, Campbell takes the mark. He'll be rightfully disappointed that ball didn't come a couple of minutes earlier. Speaking of crashing into someone, Broman straight into Zhong. On the run though, Hayes takes the advantage. Here's Shackey, couldn't take it. Chance at ground level, flick to Shackey from Monfries. Little left foot around the corner, that would sting. Oh yes. Footscray make the most of it. They get their 7th of the afternoon, 7-1-43. Werribee 2-5-17 at the 21.5-minute mark of the second term.
That's a killer, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. They've worked so hard, Werribee, this quarter, and just to go goalless with such a strong breeze at their back is just hurting at the moment.
Yep, and Dale Morris, as we know, 36 games for Werribee.
You didn't know that until the text message came through.
No, I knew that. I knew that. It was mentioned by John Lamont with Hilly earlier.
Certainly was.
We covered everything except what he had for breakfast this morning, actually, Hilly. It was rather in-depth chat. We enjoyed it up here.
Always love a great chat with John Lamont. He's very, very good with his time with us.
22 minutes gone. Campbell getting the tap down in the middle for Footscray. Jong overrunning it. Brown the same. Working their Hayes. Shot the handball out. Did a good job to Porter. This is Porter of Footscray, who kicks up towards half forward. Shackey being led in the race here by Coughlin for the footy. Now running out of room, but got teammates alongside. Did a good job there, Maishman, but just overshot the handball. William, handball over the top. Here's an opportunity for Shackey. He kicks inside 50. It's a deep ball. Green couldn't take the mark. Offhand, here's a chance. It's Monfries, and he's put it wide. 7-2-44, playing 2-5-17, 22.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. I should point out that stat is proudly brought to you by the Ruck and Roll podcast. Download it because it's described as where countdown meets world of sport, and well worth listening to because it's simulcast on 3XY.
Here's the footy to be won at ground level. Zhong later tackle. Footscray got a sniff for it. Dalglish around the corner. Monfries couldn't get around for the goal, so he gave it away to Green, who had a shot and hit the post. And I think there'll be some high heart rates in the Werribee coach's box right now. 45-17. They couldn't really have given much more in the opening 15 minutes, but Footscray have dominated the last couple as McFarlane to himself and then away to the outer side. Collins takes a strong mark at half-back. He's got players presenting down the ground. He wants to use that breeze to class as one of them. He takes it nicely in the hands. Had Smith for company. He certainly wasn't unattended. And now he's going to go in his right boot. Campbell sitting underneath this. Hooper tried to work him underneath the footy. The bounce of the ball goes end over end over end towards the boundary line, and they'll toss it in.
Should say that Ruck and Roll podcast. It's good because it's Rowan Connolly, Brian Mannix of Uncanny X-Men fame, and Kevin Hillier is the referee. Download it wherever you download your podcast. Ruck and Roll is what it's called. It's a beauty.
Couldn't have a better man leading those two around. Campbell knocked it down. Hansen deep in the pocket. Little one around the corner for Gribble, who set sail here. He got a look, swung it round. It never looked like missing. It was just a cheeky glance from across the dance floor, but that did the business. Bulldogs 7-3-45. Werribee 3-5-23. 25 gone in the second term, and they needed that.
It was just what the doctor ordered. They definitely needed that, and that just gives them that glimmer of hope going into half time, that if they can have a really great defensive third quarter, they can give themselves a chance.
Well, I need to go back to that. It was just a glance across the dance floor, but it was enough.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Was that your operating method back in the day?
Power of love, Leedsy, power of love.
Ball back in the middle. Go back to the future all of a sudden. That was outside the circles. We'll have it thrown up again.
Just cross-referencing last night's wedding, the Reverend.
Did you watch it?
Did watch a little bit amongst a bit of football.
I'm told TV sales went through the roof last night.
Did they? Well, they could have had mine. I wasn't watching it. Ball in the middle here going nowhere in a hurry. Did you have to watch it, Leedsy?
That's my point, Pete. If you didn't have two TVs last night at 5 o'clock, you had one by 6.
Did you see your way away? Right, you're in a separate area, I suppose, the rest of the family. Here's Jong, though, working through the middle of the ground. He kicks long. Nash, well done. Fist there coming from Barrick. Working it out nicely. Here's Collins for Werribee. His kick long, though. Smith to run onto it. Sotomaco on his hammer. Tried to tap it over to William, but Munro was there. William did exceptionally well for the Bulldogs. Did really well to Porter. Back to Smith on centre wing. His kick up the line, looking for Nash. The fist comes in from Barrick, and he follows up his own work, but he's on the ground, and now he's tackled. The umpire will hold for a while and say, give it to me.
It's a little stiff not to get one in the back there. I know he was already on the ground, but the Bulldogs player came in fiercely into his back.
45 plays 23. Bulldogs leading. 26 and a half minutes gone. Whistle. And which way is it going to be a Bulldogs free kick, Leedsy?
McComb has got it through the middle. Oh, gee. That's a lot there, but that was okay. Adam strong enough, got away, got the handball. And now, where can they go? Left foot inside the 50. Barrick sits underneath it, watches it go over his head. Coming through, Footscray, Mullinger McHugh's around it. He can't come up with the footy. Broman's over the top of it. They've got all sorts of numbers around this contest. McFarlane emerges, and then at the bottom of the pack, it's Simiopoulos, who was first to the footy. Campbell, Jong, through hands. Again, one more, Pete, and then I'll once again hand over.
Only 3 goals scored for the quarter as well, Leedsy, so it won't be a long quarter. Already 27 deep.
35 away from Footscray's goal line. Jong put his head over it. He was well tackled, though. Broman's done a good job. And here is the voice of Peter Mercado and Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
27 and a half minutes gone. 45 plays 23. They've done well to contain them here, the Bulldogs. There's Campbell trying to get the push down. Monfries, he's ridden into the ground. Ball eventually released. The umpire says push. There was a push. It's going to be a Footscray free kick. Well, that was interesting out of the contest. Monfries to take it, and he'll line up and have a shot 25 metres out, pretty much directly in front.
It's funny, the umpires haven't really paid a lot of small contact free kicks today, but there didn't seem to be a lot in that one, unless I missed it.
So in comes Monfries. Steps in the skipper, this Footscray team, and makes no mistake. 8-3-51, playing 3-5-23, 28 and a half gone in this second quarter. That's a second for Monfries for this afternoon.
Yep, definitely a dangerous time here for Werribee this next couple of minutes. Could only be a couple of minutes left in this quarter, you would think, so they certainly can't allow another goal, and they've probably got to be proactive here and just try and jag one back, get it back to 4 goals going into half-time.
Yeah, no Ben Maloney and Don Peru this afternoon. Would have been handy just to hold things up in the middle of the ground.
66 points to lead for the D's over Carlton. 18-6, 114 to 7-6, 48. Almost 34 minutes gone in that third quarter. Goodness.
Back in the centre. English knocked it forward. They just need to hang on. Well played, Gribble. Handball goes through the middle. He asked a bit of Hanson. And that's half time. 29 minutes that second term went. 8-3-51 the Bulldogs. Werribee 3-5-23.
Well, we're going to keep Hilly on task here to make sure that he finds out who that goal kicker was for Footscray, the first goal of the game, which I didn't quite write down in time. But Look, they're doing well, Footscray. They kicked 3 goals in that quarter to 1-5 for Werribee. And their opportunity in the breeze goes begging, but still close enough if they're good enough. With still 1 goal kicker to come, Shackey and Mullingham, McHugh and Monfries have 2 goals each. And Tashevsky Beckwith with the other one that we have. And for Werribee, 2 goals to Corbett and 1 to Tom Gribble, which was beauty in that second quarter. The teams are leaving the park, where Little Leaguers are making their way out onto the ground. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll be hearing from Peter McEvoy of the Coburg Football Club. They've had a tough time of it this season. Yet to win a game, and he was on SEN's program, VFL program, on Tuesday night. So after the break, we'll be hearing from him. We'll also go around the grounds and wrap up what's been an interesting half of football. But it is the Bulldogs 8-3-51 leading Werribee 3-5-23 on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson. But it's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickup first. Craig Lowndes
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved. Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Oh yes, and it is Wyndham Day here at Werribee, supporting the Wyndham community and the cultural diversity there as well. We're going to see a performance happening in just a few moments, but the Oz Kickers are out there and proudly wearing the big W as well. At half-time, it is 8-3-51 Footscray, Werribee 3-5-23, and just up the road it is Melbourne at three-quarter time, 18-6, 114 to Carlton 7-6-48, and about 4 minutes away from the Hawks and Brisbane Lions starting. Well, if you haven't caught up with the VFL shows, VFL Rewind on a Monday night from 7 o'clock on 3WBC. And that's a great program, wrapping up everything going on in AFL Victoria Circles, the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's and the VFL competition in the TAC Cup. And then, of course, on a Tuesday night, 11:16 SEN from 7 o'clock, it is the AFL Victoria show. Again, wrapping up everything going on around the competitions. And Anthony Stangetz and Jack Heverin this week were joined by Peter McEvoy. It was a particularly special day for Coburg yesterday with the annual Vicky Cleary match. We've covered it on Peter Jackson VFL Live. It wasn't the results that they wanted, the Coburg team, losing to Collingwood. But it was good to catch up, the team catching up with Peter McEvoy leading into that game and talking about how it's been after a tough start to the season.
We've probably broken apart every game over the first part of the season and really done a lot of footage and game analysis, and we understood exactly where we broke down and how we broke down, and so we actually sort of made a call this week not to review it as heavily as we probably have all the other games. I think we all knew the areas, and so we just had some really open and honest discussion as a group last night in our review, and only just a little bit of footage just to really to understand exactly what we did wrong and where we need to improve. So it was really good, and I think everyone's coming into this week really positive.
Peter, what's it been like for you, one of the leaders of the club, sitting on the sidelines during the opening rounds of the season with an injury?
Yeah, look, it's a frustrating thing. I don't think there's many people, many players in football, past or present, who would say they enjoyed sitting and watching on the sidelines and not being involved. It's a challenging thing, but and obviously you want to be out there doing everything you can to offer leadership and direction to especially the younger players in the team, and especially when things aren't going well in quarters, you just love to be out there and offer some guidance and experience to help control the game. But I guess the flip side of that for me has been I've had an excellent opportunity with Patch and the other coaches to be in the box and see the game, probably from a perspective I haven't had much of an opportunity to do in my time in the VFL, and really sit in the box and see much more about what the coaches see, and also obviously offer insight as a player about what we're probably seeing at the ground level versus what we're seeing in the box. So it's been really good from that sense, but much more frustrating that I haven't been out there.
And you've had a couple of seasons under Peter German in your time at Coburg. What changes have you seen, and what's it been like under new coach Lee Adams? Yeah, look, it's been fantastic under Lee, and massive credit always has to go to Peter for the job he did with taking over Coburg from, I guess, when Richmond parted ways, and he did a fantastic job of pulling the club out of what was a very difficult and challenging position. But at the same time, the energy and probably the systematic approach to the game that Lee has brought has been fantastic, and he connects really well, I think, with all players on the list, just because I suppose it always helps when you've had someone who's recently out of the game and obviously has played at the highest level, as a lot of coaches had, but I think the real professional and team-based approach that he's brought with systematic defence and systematic offence as well has been really good for the whole group. Older guys like myself, as well as the kids straight out of TAC Cup, and he's a really positive guy, which when you've got a young list and obviously we're struggling with some of our on-field performances, that's really important, because it can be easy to get very frustrated with how things are going, but we're staying really positive, and we feel we're improving. Apart from the weekend, we really feel we've improved each week. So, yeah, it's been really good.
Peter McEvoy chatting to us here on the Peter Jackson VFL show. Peter, excuse me. This weekend, it's always a big day for Coburg. The second Vicky Cleary day at the club's game against Collingwood at Piranha Park on Saturday. It's a great opportunity, I guess, as a club to unite behind Phil, who's one of the club's greatest of all time, but also unite behind a terrific cause.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we were actually fortunate enough to have Phil speak with us, with the playing group before training tonight, and he's a fantastic speaker and obviously an absolute club legend, as good as there is at Coburg with what he achieved while he was a player and a coach, and but we were all fortunate enough to I guess there's some of us have heard the story before from Phil, but there's a lot of new faces at the club who weren't completely aware of the story behind Vicky and the cause that Phil's been such a fantastic advocate for over a long period of time with regard to domestic violence. And so, it was really great to get. He's a very passionate guy and spoke really honestly and openly with us. And obviously, this is the second year, like you said, that we've got the opportunity to be involved with such a fantastic day. And I think it's really great that the club is opening it up to the community, and it's free entry. I think just a gold coin donation, and so it'd be great to get as many people down there as we can. Phil will be speaking, and we'll have a minute silence as we did last year, which is a really touching tribute, but also it's a very serious problem. So it's just great to be able to get behind a good cause and keep Phil involved in the club.
Group in front of us here at Avalon Airport Oval, and to celebrate Wyndham Day here at the Werribee football ground, and the little leaguers are out there, and you see a lot of parents having a kick with the kids, all sorts out here. It's magnificent to see. Plenty going on, but it is a lead for Footscray. 8-3-51 to Werribee 3-5-23. And we'll take a break, and on the other side of the break we'll get stuck into the second half. Can Werribee turn it around, or will it be Footscray running this one out? Find out next, right here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson.
Done. I've also got another question without notice for you, Hilly. When was the last time the Melbourne Football Club won a match by over 100 points?
Oh, that would have been a long time ago. Perhaps back in the 90s.
It's about to happen. 22-7-139 to Carlton 7-6-48.
Wow.
91 points the margin, 12.5 into the final quarter. And, 3 straight 18 for the Hawks. The Lions 1 straight 6.
Yeah, well, it's definitely disappointing for the Blues to not show up today. Obviously, they didn't have Charlie Curnow on board today, but you would have thought they'd been a little bit more competitive than that.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but perhaps with a young group who'd had a massive win the week before, not completely unexpected, undermanned, going up against a pretty quality outfit. Those D's are just building, aren't they?
They're into the 8s tonight.
Game plan that seems to have opened them up a little bit.
Yep. Now, gentlemen, I want to keep an eye on Ruben William. Magnificent first half. Barely goes to ground at all. He's strong in the contest. Seems to have some composure around when he's got the ball in hand too. So, haven't had a chance to see much of his work before now, but a really impressive first half.
I've seen him. I've seen him online a couple of times with some knee fall. And he was a really exciting talent up in Brisbane. Just couldn't crack it for a senior regular spot.
All right, away we go in the second half. 8-3-51 the Bulldogs. Werribee 3-5-23.
Jong's got first toe to the ball, and he gets it going to half forward. It's going to be a contested footy near the boundary line. G. Pinnock might have got Eminem in the back, allowed to go on. Jong out the back by hand. Kick smothered. Gee, that was amazing stuff. We'll come back to that in a moment, because Green's got it on the 50. He's going to have the shot. But the effort of the skipper, Sotomaco, who was on the ground just to get a fingertip on the ball as it went past his nostrils, quite magnificent. It's a point. It's 52-23, 30 seconds in the third
We'll
term.
get an update on the breeze in a moment. This kick coming out for Werribee, and Collins was having his jumper tugged as he took that mark. Did well. At defensive 50 for the Tigers, his kick going up the line towards the big scoreboard. Off hands, no one can take the mark. It falls there to Adams. Off a step, kicks up towards half forward. Good fist coming in from Collins again for Werribee. Work up towards centre wing. Hayes gets hands on it for Footscray. Working it across now. Nash. Not sure which way to go as the breeze really picks up. His kick inside the 50 doesn't hit the target. It falls all the way to the back. Brett will go across the face of goal into the path of Barrick, who's going to be in trouble. He gets to his feet, beats the tackler, and now can take a bounce. 2 bounces. Handballs across. Didn't find McFarlane in the end, and now he's in trouble. Smith comes in and lays the tackle, and the umpire says, give it to me. Just the conditions at the moment, Hilly.
Yeah, the wind's certainly just as strong as what it was in the first half. So you'd have to say it's a 4 or 5 goal advantage to the left of screen. At the moment, not raining, but certainly a few dark clouds still hovering.
Eyes up, Leedsy.
Hawks 24-6. Lovely diving mark from Morris at centre wing.
Definitely eyes up, Leedsy.
You can get it inside the 50 here, but too far out to score. So he sets a high ball with the advantage of the breeze. It'll carry the distance. Campbell worked out of it, but the mark wasn't taken. So DeMarco wraps up. Handball back towards the goal face. McFarlane's asked to do the last line of defence work, and he does it. And he finds his man Aylett, who takes the mark. Back pocket in front of Dalglish.
So DeMarco's the short option.
He's got an option down the line. He's going to ignore that and try and switch things up. Heads to a one-on-one, asked a bit of Collins. It was a beautifully weighted kick, and Collins took the mark on the chest. Barely broke stride. He's got it against the boundary line. Got a few options inboard, but none of them working, so his kick was smothered. He was a little rushed in the end. Handball came to Biggs. He goes back through traffic, and that was Eminem working hard again. Got it to Hayes. Out the back, Biggs is going to end up with it again. Working further back along the wing. Footscray around the corner. They go. Dalglish takes the mark, unattended in the end. And that was disappointing after Porter kicked the ball high. This one's not high, it's low. Barrick comes out, knees it forward. Strong tackle from Footscray in the forward 50. And they'll be happy with that. They'll toss it up. 40 out directly in front, 23 to 52. The Dogs in front at the 3.5 minute mark of the third term.
So tossed up over the back Berry. Trying to put in the path of Hansen. He kicks around the body. Oh, Corbett, almost the one-hander. Under pressure, couldn't take the mark. Petterwood taken off the footy. And now the Dogs have it back again. The little kick up towards half forward. Shaki comes in and takes the mark. He'll kick from just on the 50 and have no trouble getting this distance with this breeze.
There's certainly been a big change to the way the Dogs have played this end of the ground that they played in the first quarter. From the first quarter. The first quarter was all about the pockets. So far, their first 4 or 5 forward entries in this quarter in only 4 minutes have all been central. They've all been low.
As the kick from Shaki from 50's got the carry. Yep, he's kicked it. And that's his 4th for today. Bit of shepherding work on the line. Dale Morris coming to the boundary line, getting a bit of work on his legs. Nothing untoward there. 9-4-58 the Bulldogs. Werribee 3-5-23. 4.5 gone in this third quarter. Looks like is he getting some strapping or maybe a bit of massage? A bit hard to tell from our vantage point here.
Yeah, he might have just had something taken off and have it reapplied. So 58 to 23, and as brave as Werribee have been in the first half, this is a concerning scoreline with 25 minutes of football to play with the breeze for the visitors. It comes to the wing. To Class, couldn't quite come away with it cleanly, but forced a second stoppage.
D's by 104 points, 24-8, 152 to 7-6-48.
I'll toss it up, not far from the centre circles.
That's 19 gone in the final term. There could be more pain for the Blues fans today.
They won't be caring, mate. They'll still be out from the week before. They've had their grand final and they've come away with the win.
Like when we get one over the line for the Lions, Hilly.
Yeah, a bit concerned about that.
Here's Jong busting through the middle. Good stuff. Got it to Biggs. Right foot looking for... Oh, wonderful hands. Terrific stuff from Porter again. He went further to the wing. Young goes with a direct kick and Shaki's on the end of it again.
It's been a distinct change from that game style, that first quarter, and just going low, lowering the eyes, not bombing away. That was the main difference, although he has led to the pocket here. Most of his leads this quarter have been central, straight up the middle.
Needs to just give it about 5% more, I reckon, this next kick.
It
from
is
the previous one.
On its way, is struck it sweetly. It's across the face, won't make the distance, still in play. English does some tackling work, comes out the back. Good stuff, Porter again. Gee, I've liked his work at ground level. Still working hard, Simiopoulos. It's not going to come up with a ball that he can get through the goals, though, and the umpire says, you've had your turn.
Tim English just laying a lot of tackles at ground level. He's like an extra midfielder at the moment for the Dogs.
Ground level ball. Broman's around, but he can't get any effect on this. Here's Porter again, taken high. He was, yep. Well, if you put your nose in the trough often enough, you're going to come up with some food eventually. And he's thoroughly deserved this. He's deep in the pocket. He's only got 5 metres to carry, but he's The man on the mark is a half a metre in from the goal line, so it's on the tightest of angles. He steps around and finishes neatly. His first of the afternoon. The Bulldogs skipping away in this third term, 7.5 gone. Werribee stuck on 3-5-23. The Bulldogs 10-4-64.
Yeah, really dangerous times now for Werribee. Bulldogs have started really well this quarter, extended their lead, and at the moment Werribee need to get some clearances, create some run, try and not go into three-quarter time down an extremely large margin. So
interesting, just near you, Andrew Hooper, just very animated with some of the support staff from the Tigers. Maybe a little element of frustration there.
Yeah, and you can't blame him for being frustrated. And certainly things haven't gone to plan in the last 15, 20 minutes or so of this game.
So Sotomarco pushing it down. Hansen just trying to get the handball out. They do now. Aylard, he'll have a kick up towards 50. Fly, good fist coming in from Young for the Bulldogs. Straight to the boundary line. The umpire says, chuck it back in. And he'll do just that. 40 metres around from the Werribee goal. They need the next one. Simple as that. 8.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. Just keep them in with a shot. There's a few camera crews lined up as well there. Presumably for Dale Morris's ball off hands. Nicely done again by Hansen. Gets the ball back, and now an opportunity again for these. Scribbles turn the footy over though. Gosh, English has been good today, hasn't he? Oh no! As soon as I said that, it was within 2 seconds. Come on, Hilly. Corbett takes the mark. The ball was drifting across the face of goal. And Corbett said, I'll have a bit of that.
I probably cursed him a little bit earlier, just saying he's like an extra midfielder at the moment. I think he thought he was a midfielder that occasion. Took the mark and played on and just strolled off like he's just going to hit somebody on the chest and totally miscued the kick.
The kick comes in from Corbett. It's 40 metres out. It's across the face. Another behind. 3-6-24. Plays 10-4-64. 9.5 gone as Morris has had all the strapping taken off. Well, that's a good sign for Dale Morris and for Bulldogs fans.
Kick in comes quickly. English trying to make good of his last kick. Takes it in the one hand and then quickly away to Young. Down the line he goes. Barrick sits underneath it. Good punch from behind. That was well done from Henderson. Hipwood's kicked a couple to get the Lions back to a goal.
He's actually kicked it straight.
18-24. Hawks in front up there.
They must have been from impossible
For
angles.
a chance today, Pete, surely.
There must have been from impossible angles if Hipwood's kicking them.
Big margin between the D's and the Blues. Ball toss back in. Smack bang centre wing. English. Again going to work. Nash at ground level. Whistle on play. Going to
Bulldogs.
English. Nash. He's going to go with a short ball. That works okay.
They're lowering the eyes.
McComb heads across the ground to a one-on-one. Bouncing ball, didn't get there on the full. Hayes punch to himself. If he can take it cleanly, here he's away. He can't. He has to backtrack. Got it to Morris. Back to Hayes. Right foot from 48. He swung it on its dime and went bang. Oh, yes. That was easy as you like. After a pretty tough old build-up, that was a very classy finish. 11-4-70 to 3-6-24, 11 gone, third term.
And he deserved that goal, Hilly. Absolutely deserved it with his previous effort.
He works hard, Will Hayes, and it's just great to see him get some good reward. Did notice his dad wandering around in the crowd. He gets great support from his family. He's a really good VFL footballer, and good credence to him.
So 70 plays 24. Game slipping away from the home side. 11 minutes gone in this third quarter. Here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Elijah McHugh looking like he's going to come back on with Fergus Green as we'll have a take two on the bounce. Can't call him M&M because I suddenly have a hankering for chocolate. So take two. Ball thrown up this time. Working in the ruck there is Boyd for Werribee. He's lost a handle on it as Nash kicks inside the 50. And a nice defensive mark taken by Collins. He goes across to the class. Who's at half back? He kicks in the middle of the ground. William there working with Sotomarco. William created the contest. And now the ball heading up towards half forward. It clean bowls the pack. Working his Hayes. He could have 2 in a minute. Has a shot from 48. Yes! Second in this quarter. And they're kicking clear now, the Bulldogs. 12-4, 76 plays 3-6-24. 12 and a half gone in this third quarter.
He's just coming from the ground now, but smile, just beaming. Very happy with the goal there. It's a great effort from Reuben William in the middle of the ground, who set that up with the turnover. Fantastic effort.
No time to come off.
No. Let the good times roll, I say. That's where the request you should come back in via the runner to say, really? Really? We're going to do the rotation thing, are we?
What a magnificent bounce to get us going again. It's tumbled forward. McComb doing great work in there. Barrack ditto. He's making sure that this is going nowhere.
Last week in the AFL, gentlemen, Ronke had kicked 4 in the first quarter for Sydney. And he was going to come off, and Longmire sent the runner out and said, no, stay on.
Fair enough too.
So it'd be nice if we saw a little bit more of that in most games of the AFL and VFL.
Well, it's just right in the momentum, isn't it? I mean,
It certainly is. I can't understand why clubs do it. To me, it makes no sense.
Anyway, you probably need a breather anyway.
Ball tossed up. Going to work in the ruck now is Boyd. He tries to get it going, and they do. Hansen emerges with it. Misses the initial target. Pressure on Roberts. Needs to be clean, and he is. He just got it away to Morris nicely. He works it to Smith. Away down the line, Green. Oh, terrific stuff in the air from Sharp, but it doesn't stop Green coming up with it for the Dogs. Came away, got it to Campbell. Thought about a kick, and now he does. High ball, Jongs the target. Got it! Yep. Just read it nicely, protected enough of the space that the ball was coming to, and he will line up from 28 metres out with a slight angle to contend with.
Yeah, they've changed their ball movement from quarter time onwards, the Dogs, and although they didn't kick a lot of goals in the second quarter, obviously we're kicking into the wind, but now aided with the breeze, they're playing that same game style. They're spreading wide, getting it to their wingmen, and then centralising things, centering the ball towards the centre half forward area. It's working a treat.
It's a goal to Zhong, 82-24. That happened quickly. All of a sudden, it's a 10-goal margin. 15 gone in this third term, and Footscray look awesome.
So do the D's. 25-8, 158, leading Carlton by 108 points, 7-8-50. 29 minutes gone, the final quarter there. Hawks by 5, 4 straight, 24, 3-1, 19. The Lions up at the Gabba today. So, any response here from Werribee? 15 gone in this third quarter. It's all Footscray. Back in the middle we go. Berry climbing up high on Campbell, but Campbell got it. Just flicked it back out to Shevsky. Beckwith goes handball over the top into the path of Biggs, who goes for a run. He's handball into space. Numbers coming through. Broman did really well just to handball forward, but it's going to be cut off again. And Nash, he's played some sort of game today. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Marking players come out. English was one of those. Still managed to get the handball away. Now the tackle put on, turnover, as Hansen was 360. And he's going to come up with a free kick for a little bit too high. In fact, it's not Hansen, it's the skipper, Sotomarco. He'll have it at centre half back for Werribee. Goes shorts, living dangerously, but not a lot up ahead, to be fair. This kick, dangerous again, but goes over the top. The big ruckman Berry has to force the ball back to Aylett. He goes short, lowers the eyes nicely to Petterwood. Petterwood kicks up. It's a dangerous footy. Hooper couldn't get a run at it, but Barrack is there. He handballs into the open space, and it goes over the line. We'll have it thrown in. Into attack here for Werribee. Desperate to get this next goal.
Nice little moment from Hooper with Morris there. Spent some time together on the same list. Hooper thought about putting him into the fence, but then thought better of it.
Well, probably not a nice thing to do. As the ball's tossed back in. Just trying to hack the ball over the back there. English, it's sit tight inside the 50, and the umpire will come in. There's a bit of push and shove going on as well. There's been a little bit of
surprised
feeling
if
in
there's
this
a Werribee
one.
free kick here. Or
We'll see. The umpire is saying, give it to me. I'm going to throw it up as quickly as humanly possible. And that's what happens. English again getting the tap down. Still on attacking 54, Werribee. It's flinging around in there. Porter of the Bulldogs is wrapped up in the tackle. And the umpire says, give it to me again. Ball to be tossed back up. 17 minutes gone. 82 plays 24. Overcast conditions at Avalon Airport Oval. Holding, free kick. It'll go the way of English of the Bulldogs.
So the big fella has the footy. He's going to go across goal. It used to be a thing for ruckman to do, but he's nailed that. Heads to Morris, who goes further afield. Asked a lot there of Adams. It goes over the line under the scoreboard, 82-24.
I didn't talk him up this time.
that kick out to centre wing there was an interesting one. The kick was definitely to Marcus Adams, but he must have thought he had another teammate. He ran away from the football, not towards it, and it was certainly earmarked for him.
Dalglish, Hansen emerges with it, tackled by Biggs. It's slapped out the back. Good stuff from Sharp initially to get his hands on it, but then the wind took the kick and it went out of bounds on the full.
While that's happening, Demons win by 109 points. 25-9, 159 to 7-850. And the Lions, 27 minutes into the first, lead by 1 point, as we say, Hilly. Ring the siren.
Today's our day, maybe.
Ring the siren.
Here's Jong, English, little undergrounder. Strong stuff on the outer side from Sharp, tackling. Now he locks the footy in. Now it bobbles out. Now he locks it back in. Now it bobbles out. And
Make up your mind.
Berry has it now. He's tossed over the line. They'll toss it back in. Right underneath the scoreboard still, 18:42 has gone in this third term. Beat all the Dogs, 82-24. And all of a sudden the home side charged with the responsibility of just hanging in there. Nash against Hansen. He's well tackled. There'll be no free kick.
Speaking of hanging in there, Hilly, hang in there, mate. Just seen the updated radar.
Don't tell me that. Oh, no.
You want the wind to slow down, that's all I'll say.
And
it just feels like it's just picked up a notch, actually. I was going to say it's now probably a 6-goal breeze. It's just that strong.
And the updated score too, Hilly. Won't help the weather. Roughheads just put the Hawks back in front. I'll toss it in here. We're just not moving very quickly. It's stagnated play for the moment, 82-24. They'll toss it back in. Half-forward flank for Werribee. Approaching time on. I'd love a couple here. Gee, was there a free kick against Nash there? Dalglish took his man without the ball. Now he comes up with the footy. Nash got it going forward, strong enough to kick despite the tackle. It beats Collins and then goes deep into the pocket, and it's going to tumble over the line, and that's a pretty good result. If he was playing for the Wallabies, they'd be happy.
That kick had to have travelled 80 metres all up. That was kicked in just past centre wing and it's ended up going out of bounds just outside the behind post area.
It's a line out in the corner.
Toss back in. Well, they didn't get up as high there, but the ball falls to Porter of the Bulldogs. Still inside 50. Back to Monfries. They're just going to share it around. Now a high kick. A really high kick, travelling with the breeze. Oh, a couple of players sport each other, the Bees. Collins has to go back in and get the footy again. He's worried out of it. Mulligan McHugh trying to get boot to ball. He can't do so.
Look at
the umpire says throw it up top of the goal square.
Did it look like a Werribee mark there, Pete?
No, I don't think he got enough of it. They spoiled each other in the end, for mine.
Yep.
Into time on in this third quarter. Deep into attack for Footscray. English got the handball out straight to the class though. Handball to Broman. He's in a bit of trouble. Lost a handle on it. Dispossessed there was Lin Jong as well. Now the clearing kick for Werribee. Heading up towards centre wing. One-on-one. Corbett having to do some work. It goes over the line, but it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Bulldogs. I thought there was holding going on both ways there. Fletcher Roberts has the free kick. And the breeze really picking up now. The kick going into the pocket. Good mark, Collins. Geez, been solid down back today for Werribee.
Oh, yes, and that's a nice kick too to Sotomaco from the former Hawk and Docker. A little ball here, Sotomaco, no good. Biggs got in the way, he couldn't keep it in, but he did make sure the Barrack didn't take the mark, and they'll fling it back in. 40 around from the point post, grandstand side of the ground. Not far from where all the kids' activities were taking place in the first half. But the sensible people, Hilly, are packing up because they know the weather's coming. Here's English. Hansen, Sotomarco, well played. Maishman got rid of it and then spun out of the way. Kicked a long ball. Good contest from Young. Made sure it was going towards the line and it goes over. For a moment it looked like it may have stayed in for Wallace, but there was nothing doing. Plenty of voice from that Footscray bench. They're well in control of this one. 82-24 at the 22-minute mark. Broman's still sticking to his task on Zhong, who's working hard to get to the fore of this, and he does, and he busts through a tackle. Wallace quickly away into the 50 they go. There's a good, strong defensive mark, though. That was well played, and Coughlin has the footy.
He does. His kick across the ground. Again, Collins. He's leading in the race for a footy that's going over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in. 22 and a half minutes gone. 82 plays 24. Earlier a win for Melbourne, over 100 points against Carlton. And what's happening up the Gabba?
Quarter time, 30-25, Hawks in front.
A beautiful day up there in Brisbane. Just think of that, Hilly, as English grabs it out of the ruck and kicks it inside 50. A little tumbling ball. It's going to be, though, comes straight back out. McFarlane, handball over the top. Now they've got some run as they work their way through the middle of the ground. Aylett, his kick up towards half forward, just missed its target. And working there, Fletcher Roberts did well to get the tap down. Across to Adams. Adams kicked to centre half forward. It's a dangerous one. 2-on-1. Hooper puts it inside the 50. Here's a goal coming up. Munro puts it through. He gets his first of the afternoon and maybe a little bit of hope. 4-6-30 plays. 13-4-82. 23 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Well, they certainly will come home with a really strong breeze in the last quarter, but they'd have to be within about 7 goals.
Blood
if
roll
they're
again for Lim Jong here, Hilly, as he comes towards you, bleeding out of his mouth.
Yeah, it just looks like the wound from the first quarter's just opened up again, and he'll need that attended to before he'll be allowed to be re-enter the field.
He's taking his time too. Lynn, like us, not wanting too much of a post game, and we like that. He walks straight in, trudges in, sits down, says, right, let's get this over with.
Wouldn't be adverse to getting that sort of reaction from my 5-year-old. She's got a bit of blood. He just nonchalantly wandered down, sat down, no problems at all. Life could be a dream. Back in the middle, long ball going forward from McComb. High ball inside the 50. Good attempt on the mark from Collins, but couldn't take it. Now they just smash it off the ground. Gribbles couldn't take the slips catch. Slipped to Barrick. He goes to the outer flank. Looking for something to present is Aylett. He went one way, then the other, and then kicked down the line. But unfortunately, Morris had read it best. And he takes the mark at centre wing.
Oh, the cameras have gone.
Steers it in. Mark taken here by Shea. Not far from that centre wing position. They're just waxing a little now. He heads a little further afield to Smith, who takes it. Still tucked up against the boundary line. Now he goes on his left boot inside the 50, and wasn't really much about that entry to like at all if you're a Footscray fan.
Oh, here we go.
Here's Collins, long ball. Now, chance for Sotomarco out the back. He couldn't take it. William did well just to hold them up momentarily. He might have forced a 50-50 ball here. He has. Where it all seemed gone for Footscray. Sotomarco had the run of it, but William just strong enough to make sure that the ball was held up for long enough.
He showed great closing speed. He just wasn't looking like he was going to be in the contest there, and got there right in time. Sensational effort.
If we were giving votes, he'd certainly feature in them today. He's been sensational. This kick heading forward for Footscray temporarily. There's a ball up the line there. He's again William working with Munro this time. Gribble, good handball too to Maishman. Maishman kicked into the player in front of him. It was Smith who gets the ball back from Porter and could go for a run. Rourke Smith through the middle of Avalon Airport Oval. Brushes the tackle. Handball across to Zaszewski Beckwith. His kick inside 50. It's not going to hit the target. In fact, bounces away from the pack. And the umpire says throw it in. That was a solid build-up, that one.
Yeah, Green filthy in the middle of the ground, and probably fair enough. He had 10 metres with no one around him. He'd made great space, but Zaszewski Beckwith just never saw him.
Yeah, and his first thought was to go wide too there, Beckwith, and it's not the style of play that Steve Race would want.
Here he is, Zaszewski Beckwith, running out of room near the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in again.
He's been given a free
he's
kick
got
here.
a free kick.
Not sure what for.
The umpire, who was miles away, made the call. Well, let's see. Well, Andrew Tashevsky-Beckwith, 27 minutes gone. Tight on the boundary line for this kick. He'll be kicking from 40.
He doesn't comfortable.
No, he doesn't. But he's going to have a crack, and that's why he wasn't comfortable. It's gone straight across the face of goal, nowhere near going towards goal. De Glasslow picks it up. He's paddling in front of him, but Biggs worries him off the footy. Now drops it at the opportune moment. That should be a high tackle. It is. Free kick going Footscray's way. Simeopoulos to take it and getting play moving quickly. He's going to get the handball receive and kick inside the 50. English. Oh, fell to the back. And the mark has been taken. Momfries takes it, and he'll line up and have a shot. Well, plenty of goal face to look at, and he'll only be 20 metres out.
Yeah, can't imagine him having too many issues with this one.
Wouldn't have thought so. Angus Momfries, the skipper of this side, co-captain of Footscray this season, steps in, kick, missed. Oh, well, thank you very much. M leads. Now, if you could just say Hawthorn and Monty's today, we'll be right. 83 plays 30, 28 minutes gone in this third quarter on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Back to Sandy next week.
2 goals, 2 to his name. Momfries. Oh, G. Barrick was made to work at ground level, but he's taken the mark right at his bootlaces. It's been pretty serviceable this afternoon. He kicks a long ball to the outer side of the ground. There's not going to be a mark. Coming to ground level. Brett, little handball backwards. And over the footy, McComb. Still working near the boundary line, and the umpire says, we're over it. That's the line, not the game. Still playing that.
Sandringham and Werribee our game for broadcast next week, Jerry Beach Oval.
Where the arc meets the boundary line.
Where the broadcast team meet the office.
Right in front of what might be a school youth bus out there, Pete. Here's Gribble. He bombs it forward. Going to cough it up. Young takes the mark. Centre wing. Dogs looking to attack again. Can they extend their lead? It's 63 at the moment. He kicks to half forward. Not going to be a mark. Henderson. Good stuff. Ayler tucks it under the arm and then squares it off across the ground. Barrick takes it unattended. He's got a backtrack now. He wants to play straight down the middle. Dangerous. Young at the back. Allows Morris to clean up. He was tackled well. Ball spills. Werribee away. Off to the races inside the 50. Now it just needs to sit.
Bennett.
Just 1 or 2 bounces for Bennett. He doesn't take any. He gives it everything he needs to. He got horrible contact, but it sailed on through. And Werribee get their 5th of the afternoon. They're 5-6-36. The Dogs 13-5-83. 29 and 51 gone in the third quarter.
Are they back in it?
Well, this is shades of what we were a couple of weeks ago at Coburg, Illy. We thought Coburg were back in it, but they just took them too long to score their goals. And I think the same thing's going to happen here, even though they got the breeze in the final term.
The only thing with that Coburg game was they were in it in terms of they weren't coming from 10 goals down. They are coming from 10 goals down here, Werribee, but they've certainly worked harder in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Going to come home with a breeze.
Well,
this is the sort of ground where you can kick 8, 9, 10 goals at one end with this strong breeze.
Well, Footscray still have the scoring in. The siren not too far away. Prepare yourself, Leeds. As this kick's going out of bounds on the full.
It's nearly in the box.
Crowd. Almost at our commentary box. It's going to be a turnover. Footscray ball. Now, who's to take the kick here? It's right on the interchange. So Dalgleish is the player. He needs to go through the interchange gate to be able to take the kick. That's exactly where he kicks from. High ball, inside 50. Well, Porter over the top, couldn't complete the mark. He gets the handball received, brushes one tackle, not the second from Adams. Dragged to the turf, pack forms. Umpire says, give it to me, we'll throw the ball up.
I think Steve Grace will be pretty disappointed with the way they finished the quarter here, the Dogs. They were looking like they were going to be 13 or 14 goals in front at three-quarter time, and now to only go in with an 8-goal lead going into the last quarter, they're not over the line.
Just warning you, the siren's coming, Leedsy.
Oh, well done, McClass. Takes the mark in the heart of his defensive 50. And he's going to chip a short ball to Henderson. Little one over the top finds Porter, who looks down the line. Broman gave him a little lead there. He ignored that. And going to go down the line. Coming back from that foot injury today is Josh. This was punched away at the back. Now, if Hooper can pick this up cleanly or get it forward, he does. There's a real chance. Where's it going to finish? Hanson takes it at the 50. Chips it over the top. Bennett's on the run again. It just needs to sit it, run away from him. Oh, the pesky little pill. Over the line, and they'll toss it in.
Gee, you need to run into a better position there, Bennett. Just follow the ball, take the mark.
Can they create something deep in the forward pocket? Hilly reckons there's still a chance in this game. One more here. They might just go in with a bit of belief. To Klaas, couldn't take it away cleanly. They'll toss it up. This looks a classic case of requiring some Mercado clearance.
Sure.
25 out directly in front. Werribee attacking, trailing 36 to 83. 33 gone.
All right, well, let's see. Campbell got it down. Here's Munro, though. Munro puts it through on the siren for Werribee. In case you didn't hear it, that's his second in this quarter. 13-5-83 playing. Is that 6-6-42? I think it is. Oh, they're coming back slightly here, Werribee, and they've got the breeze in the final quarter. Am I right with 6 goals?
Yep.
Thanks for that. The voice coming in. 6-6-42, Werribee at 3-quarter time. The Bulldogs 13-5-83. Let's go through the goal kickers, Leesy, to 3-quarter time.
So Shaki has 4 to lead the way for Footscray, 2 to Mullinger McHugh, Hayes has 2, as does Monfries, and then singles to Porter and Jong along with Tashevsky Beckwith.
Oh.
For Werribee, 2 to Munro, 1 to Gribble, 2 to Corbett, and 1 to Bennett.
All right, so Werribee already in a tight huddle. The players, before the coaching staff even got there, are in a really tight huddle. They believe now that they could bring this margin back. 83 plays 42. We'll take a break. The final quarter coming up next right here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $8.95. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wick up first.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018. The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and
That's
talk.
pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
3/4 time at Avalon Airport Oval. The margin 41 points in favour of the away team Footscray. 13-5-83 to Werribee 6-6-42. Peter McEvoy, Michael Leeds, Glenn Hill with you. And both teams in their huddles. It'll be Werribee coming home with the breeze in the final quarter. But have they given too much of a head start to the Footscray team? We'll find out in just a few moments. We might go around the grounds while we got the opportunity. Earlier today, massive win for Melbourne. They're not used to winning by 100 points. I'd love to find out when the last time was. They won by 109. 25-9, 159 to 7-8-50. Goodness me. Big win for them. And Leedsy?
Yes, and we're just waiting for, yes, it is 6 straight 36 Hawthorn to Brisbane 6-1-37. Big bomb from close to 60 metres to get that last one for the Hawks. So Hilly has spoken about the chances for Werribee here. They did look a team that believed, and that last one on the siren always gives you a little bit of impetus going into the last quarter. I just think that their biggest challenge in this last quarter, Pete, might be kicking straight. Because I don't think their effort's going to all of a sudden evaporate, but they've struggled to hit the goals.
They kicked 2-5 in the second quarter. So, yeah, they were off target. They were blazing away. But the thing for me was that they, as soon as the three-quarter time siren went, they all got in a huddle. Before the coaches, before anyone got to them, they got in a huddle and they were talking to each other. They feel that they're a genuine hope here.
Yeah, and look, it's so hard for us to read, but Hilly does tell us that breeze is still considerably strong. So if they can get going and kick the first 3 or 4, then they'll feel they're right in the contest. But as I say, they just can't afford to miss their opportunities.
Not forgetting, of course, that our matchday sponsor is Chiron Healthcare.
So, the
Manufactures
rain
products which aid in
imminent.
washing and sterilising
Hilly to you.
Just going to grab John, just be a second.
All right, just jump in when you got him.
Yeah, thanks, John, for joining us again. We really built some momentum there going into the last quarter.
We did, but some disappointing stuff all day in terms of our ball use, fumbles, mistakes, our error rate. A simple term like that, error rate, is just too high in the earlier part of the game. And yeah, we let them in for some, we got 10 goals down there at one stage, which was terribly disappointing. So look, we got it back a couple late. So breeze is there, we've got a bit of momentum, there's a little bit of belief there. So we'll just, have a throw at the stumps now and see how we go.
Your tackle pressure today has been outstanding. I think I noticed on the board might have had something around about the 65 mark to three-quarter time.
Yeah, look, we've been pleased with the tackle pressure. We felt a few times we didn't get the reward from a free kick or two would have been handy, but yeah, hopefully we've got 30 minutes now to keep that pressure up and use the ball a bit better going inside 50 to try and generate some more scores.
Good luck. Thanks, John.
Cheers.
Here's Nash straight away. Barrack first to the footy at half back. Couldn't get a hand on it. Shackie's around the pack if it comes out. Barrack goes in over the top. He's left his man, so he needs to hold it in now. Umpire says, I'll take it, thank you. And they'll toss it up half-forward flank. Great job, Hilly, with Coach John Lamont. Wiley Fox been around the block, hasn't he? We'll just have a throw at the stumps here, he says, in this last quarter. English toe pokes it forward, but it's taken away by Werribee. Broman goes with a long ball down the line. And there's a free kick here. This won't hurt. No, well, if it's going the wrong way as far as John Lamont's concerned, and Smith has it.
Smith's been very solid all day too. Very impressive.
His kick over the head here of Porter, and they'll toss it in slightly attacking side of centre wing. Lots to like about Porter's game today. Put his head in the hole time and time again, and I just noticed that ball went over his head. His teammate apologised. He said, no problems here. Let's get on with getting it back. Biggs, did he throw that out? I'm not convinced he got rid of it properly. Ball at ground level, and Porter in over the top of it again. English working hard though. There's a bit of a rugby scrum appearing, and the umpire will come in and toss it up again. Not much happened in the first 90 seconds of this last term. 83 to 42. English knocked it down. Found some space for Zhong to run into. Broman made sure it wasn't spatial for long. Here's Petterwood, little undergrounder for his mate Aylett, who goes to half forward. Young in front of his man. Oh, now is he got a kick in the back of the ankle? Or has he hurt himself? That didn't look good. That was sort of in pain midway to the ground. He might have just got a kick in the back of the calf. He gives the thumbs up. That's happy days. They'll toss it back in half forward with Werribee trailing 42 to 83.
The rains are starting to come down, boys.
Right, well, seek shelter, Hilly, is the ball here. English just around the body up towards centre wing, but picked up classy. Pick up from McFarlane. The ex-Cat runs out of room near the boundary line, and they'll be thrown in. There wasn't a lot happening up ahead, so that was sensible. The rain coming down here at Avalon Airport Oval, Werribee. Toss back in. Berry getting the tap down. Ball not cleared, still at half forward here for the Bees. Now it is. Joint hands and knees as the kick from Hayes going towards the 50, the 215s. It's Collins leading Campbell this time. Collins puts it on the boot. Now to Class, has to pick it up in the middle of the ground, but Williams there. He's been sensational for Footscray. Just holds the footy up. Sotomaco going without it. Hayes jumping on top of it. He's picked up the footy, now ridden into the turf. The umpire will throw it up. Head to the square, centre wing. 3 gone. 83 plays 42 here on Peter Jackson VFL Live around the grounds.
Brisbane by a point, 43 to 42 over Hawthorn. 10 remaining second term.
As it should be. Ball tossed back up. Berry, well, his opposite number, English, though, picked it up. Handball across to Nash. Finds some space. Oh, his opponent went down. Hanson a little bit too easily there. Near the scoreboard is Nash, finding someone to kick to, a bit of a task. The Class coming out to meet it, paddling in front of him. A couple of players going over. The deck's getting a bit slippery now with all this rain coming through. And the ball will be tossed up half forward for Footscray.
It's just starting to get heavy at ground level now, Pete. It's going to make it so much tougher now for Werribee.
So ball to be won, defensive 50 for Werribee. Did Jong just cop another one in the snout? I think he may have.
Not again.
I'm not sure he was all that close to the ball either. I'll toss it up again. English and Berry call that a 0-0 draw. Hayes trying to work hard at ground level. Came out the back. Krzyzewski Beckwith, little handball. Porter, little one smothered. Nash, high ball. Here's a chance for Monfries. This would be the ideal start for them. Around the corner, won't make the distance though. It's tough to get good contact and take the mark. Adams couldn't get his head over it just in the nick of time. Well played initially, and then the handball to Sotomaco, no good. Allows the Footscray side in. Monfries knocks it on. Gee, was that a foot in there from Nash? It was. The advantage is paid, and they're away through the middle of the ground. Can they hang on to the footy? Good stuff from Coughlin. There's plenty of space to work into. He decides he's just going to kick it high and hard. Inside the 50, and the mark is taken by Corbett. Forwards don't mind that. Long ball in, time enough for the defenders to get lost. And Corbett has the chance to get the first to the last quarter. He'll kick from just inside the arc. Not much of an angle to speak of. They're 42 to 83 before the kick. He struck it sweetly. That's a nice start for this Werribee side. They've got a mountain to climb, but they've taken the first step. That's 3 for Corbett, and they're 7-6, 48 to 13, 5-83.
See there the 100 gamer, Hilly just guiding him there, standing on the goal line saying, right, aim it at the left goal post.
Yeah, it was a perfect kick. Actually, I think he might have aimed more towards the middle. It just went dead straight. And they are right in this game, I think. Werribee. I know it's 6 goals, but this breeze have to be a 5-goal breeze. And if they can win enough footy in the midfield and can pump the ball forward like they did then, there's still a chance.
You're saying they're close enough if they're good enough?
Correct.
Well, it is going forward again for Werribee. Good tackle. Petterwood's brought to ground. Now inside 50 again. The one-on-one contest. Corbett going to work with Young. Corbett pushes it towards the line. We'll have it thrown in where the 50 and the boundary line intersect.
The Dogs have really took the foot off the pedal, and they haven't scored a goal since about the 17-minute mark of the third quarter, and they've nearly gone 18, 19 minutes, haven't kicked a goal, and they don't look dangerous either at the moment. They're really just hanging on a bit.
So, ball to be tossed back in. It sits up. English and Berry. Interesting contest today, that's been. As Wallace at the bottom of the pack. Umpire says, give it to me, we'll throw it up where the 5 and the 0 are. In towards the 50 for Werribee. Berry pushing the ball down. Rather sharp, but here's Wallace again. Pushed off the kick, it dribbles forward. Berry from 50, puts it up high towards the top of the goal square. They fly, Corbett was there. Getting the quick kick away was Morris. Trying to find some open space, can't do so. Hooper, just worried off it by Smith. Boundary line wins out, we'll have it thrown in. The rain's starting to lighten up a bit, Hilly?
Just momentarily.
Well, at least it wasn't quarter one. 7 gone, 83, plays 48. Ball tossed back in. On 50, towards the 54, Werribee. Off hands, working the Aylett. Quick kick off the boot into the pocket. Williams to get on to the end of this. Nope, the boundary line wins out. We will have it thrown in.
Very well disguised by Ruben William there. Didn't want to take possession. Very well disguised.
Doesn't look like there's too many issues on the benches, Hilly.
No, we've been lucky today. No injuries of serious note to report.
Here's Maishman, couldn't quite pick it up. Good stuff, Hayes. They've got a hold of him, though, and they'll toss it up. 15 out directly in front from Werribee's goal. 2 or 3 more. Makes it interesting. Working hard, Maishman. Can he come away with the footy? Hayes is having none of it. He drags him to the ground.
Yeah, but we say 2 or 3 more, but it's how quickly they can get them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem.
If they got 2 in the next 6 minutes and we're 4 goals down with 15 minutes to go, I'd say they can 100% win the game, but they have to get 2 in the next 5 minutes.
Well, McFarlane's taken the mark. He's 55 out. Now, he looks like he's becoming...
Is a player on the mark 55 out? I can't
interested in a shot. 53 out for the man on the mark. McFarlane's going to run around. He gets protection from Barry. Kicks from 52. Gives it everything. It's across the face if it makes the distance. It's one behind. 7-7-49 to 13-5-83. 9 gone.
You can certainly kick with confidence. As I said, it's a really strong breeze. So most of the players here feel like they can carry 55, 60 metres.
Fletcher Roberts, kick for Adams, takes the mark at defensive 50 for Footscray. Off a step, he kicks up the line looking for Young. Oh, dangerous ball. Colin Boldham again in the end. Working hard there was Pinnock. He gets the handball across, but unable to pick it up is Harry Boyd, and the umpire says throw it in on that outer side, just into attack for Werribee, who trail 83 to 49. 9.5 gone in the final quarter around the grounds.
Lions by a goal, 6 minutes remaining in the half.
The other equation Werribee have got to deal with is they just cannot allow Footscray to score a goal.
Correct. Give that one to English from the right contest. Berry, though, second effort was good. Now pack forms, the umpire will throw it up. Yep, that's part of the problem too. It is in their area, but even still...
Yeah, you can't give up a heartbreaker down the other end, which they did in the second quarter.
Yep. There's Ayla taken off the footy. Oh, ball pinballing around. It goes forward for Werribee in the end. Trying to go off the top there was Gribble. He was 360 at the same time. Now he's being tackled by English. He's still got to his feet. How did he do that? The kick going inside the 50, looking for Corbett. Front position, the back though, Young with the fist. Puts it over the boundary line and will have it thrown in. 83 plays 49, 10 gone, final quarter.
Young's also been very good today. Very solid in defence and competing in the air very well.
What can they manage here? Porter to go against English. Knocked towards the boundary. Coming through Hooper, spun into and then out of and then back into trouble. Chong was taken without the footy. Didn't matter. Footscray got it going outside the 50. Sliding in towards the line is McComb, and they will toss it back in. Hard work now for the boundary umpires as that Sharon becomes very heavy. So they toss it back in. Now, who can break a pack here? Who can be dangerous? Porter, Sotomarco, nothing doing. Footscray come away with a doggish little kick right foot. Got it going to the wing. Dashevsky Beckwith went without it. She's a hard footy to hold on to for the moment. Good stuff though from Aylett, had no troubles. Spun around, got it inside the 50, Corbett the target. Young did enough to get him out of the way. Hooper's lurking dangerously. Almost took out his own man. In fact, his own man in Coghlan spun out after hitting Hooper on the way through, and they'll toss it in. One more left in me, Pete, and then again I'll just...
What, for the day?
Hand over as I head downstairs and enjoy the hospitality. Toss back in. Porter, can he get it to a teammate? A chance now. Here's Munro. Splits the pack and kicks the goal. That's number 8. His third for the afternoon. 55 trails 83. The Bulldogs in front. 12 gone. Final term.
Within your 5-minute window, Hilly?
Yeah, certainly is, and even give it a couple more minutes and they can get another one. It's certainly game on. It's certainly game on. They are up and about. The spirit and the belief is back with the Werribee Tigers.
Beam just kicked another one. Brisbane by 12 points.
Could be a big day. Ring-a-ding-ding.
Is today the day?
Well, back in the middle. Well, we're firmly focused on here as the ball from Josh Porter. He's in the ruck now. Sotomarco. Now they've got some runners. It's a high ball going all the way. It's touched on the line. Maishman's kick. Gee, went big. Almost carried. Young on the line. Saved it though. 83 plays 56. Fletcher Roberts kicks to himself and then goes with a long ball outside the 50. Oh, big fly again from Nash. Pushing it forward. William been brilliant today. He gets the handball receive again. At centre half.
He's run about 30 metres with that.
His kick going short. Hasn't found the target, Dalglish. Oh, it's dangerous now. Here's another opportunity. Hooper. He gets the handball away. Working it there. Now a chance. Here's Coghlan. Coghlan kicks a goal. His first for the afternoon, and they're drawing closer. 13 and a half gone in this final quarter. 13-5-83 playing. That scoreboard ticked over. 8-8-56. Well, there's your 2 and 5. Ben Hill.
They are certainly in this game, and if I was Footscray, I'd be extremely worried right now. They had a 10-goal lead at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, and Werribee are within 4 goals. They can do this.
21 points the margin. Back in the centre. Who's going to come out of it? Maishman got it away. Sotomarco well tackled. Nothing happening though. And they'll toss it up.
Bit stiff not to get holding the ball there. He seemed to have plenty of opportunity before he was tackled.
That's
the Bulldogs player wrapped him up. No cigar.
Porter. Here's Campbell. Sharp. Maishman might have been taken off it. Porter goes again. Couldn't get his kick away. It was smothered. Hayes being ridden hard by his man there to Class. Came away to McComb. Little handball, no good. Biggs is going to come on the end of it though. He goes with his left foot, gets it inside the 50. Does he? No. Slid off the side a little bit. Shacky knocked it back in. Might have taken it out. Werribee come up with the footy. Collins goes down the line. He needs a mark at centre wing. Young's first there. Corbett's right on his hammer. And they toke it over and they'll toss it in. Almost 15 gone last turn, 62-83.
Shacky keeping that ball in there when he didn't need to. It's just cost his team about 80 metres. Really poor decision there from Shacky.
Well done from Lewis Young, though, to just try and trap that ball. Campbell working with Josh Porter in the ruck. And now it spills to the back of the pack. And they've got an opportunity here. Footscray in the middle of the ground. Well, Green caught one in the head. No call from the umpire. They're still milling around. McComb, handball out. William, good hands, works it back out. Now they've got an opportunity again. Footscray to reload. The kick heading out towards the interchange benches. Shacky's there. He takes the mark. His kick up the line. Oh, big mark from McFarlane. Wasn't even looking. He's kicked. Oh, they're on here. Out the back. De Class in the middle of Avalon Airport Oval. His kick finds Gribble. Gribble slightly held up by Young. They're appealing for it inside the 50. The kick's going long and high. It's 2 on 2. Oh, they fly. Ball bouncing at the back. It's going to be thrown in right next to the behind post for Werribee. 83 plays 62, almost 16 gone final quarter here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Umpire, boundary umpire waiting. No one picking up Corbett at the moment. And now they are. Campbell and Porter at the back. Campbell's second effort clears the area. And Shacky comes in, takes a sliding mark. He's going to be paid it, takes it at defensive 50.
So what can they build from the back half here, Footscray? They've got a runner on in Hayes, but he was too far away and on the wrong side of the ground. So Shacky heads across to where the scoreboard is. Long, high ball. They all fly, but no one can take the mark. So ground level ball important. Collins lays a good tackle. Ball spills free. Allows Henderson into the mix, but it's not going to come out. And the umpire will come in and toss it up again. We're still at centre wing. Morris is barking instructions. Looks like he's got Hooper for company at the moment. No, there's a switch. Hooper comes out to centre half forward. Ball still at centre wing. Clean hands from Sharp. Around the corner to Aylett. Kicks a high ball to half forward. William did well to knock it away. That's got to be kicking in the danger. No. Umpire said keep going please, gentlemen. Nash gets on the end of it. He kicks a torp that didn't go anywhere. Was that a push in the back? Allowed to go on. McComb lost the handle on the footy at ground level. Chance for Pinnock. He broke a line. Got it to Browman and they're away. De Class with his left boot. High inside the 50. Hooper's got to stay down. It's fisted away with authority, but Barrack's there. He picks it up and shoots from 51. He had options. But he wasn't aware that they were there. And it went out of bounds on the full from a rush kick. Footscray take the mark. Biggs turnover. Chance for Hooper. He misses.
Hold on. There's a free kick. It's going Werribee's way. The behind won't count. It's a free kick Werribee.
Well, Munro's going to be awarded the kick from 25 out with a slight angle to contend with, but surely Hooper took the advantage.
Well, I think it might have been called back because it appeared that was happening off the ball.
Yeah, I think you're right, Pete. I think it was off the ball.
So Munro. He's kicked 3 goals today, Leedsy, did you know? Margin's 21 points before this kick. He's just snuck it in. Oh, and he copped a bit too from William, who's coming through. 4 goals from Matty Munro. Oh, that feeling's still there, Corporate. Just getting a little antsy down there. Keep an eye on it. Don't worry about that, Leedsy. What's the score at half-time around the grounds, please?
11 points the margin. The Lions in front. Bit of push and shove at half-time.
Yeah.
Bit of push and shove is right. Hilly?
There's real belief at the moment. The Tigers are up and about. The adrenaline's pumping. And as I said, 10 goals down. At the moment, Footscray don't look like scoring. They don't look like scoring. They're not moving the ball well. The Tigers are all over them in the centre of the ground. They can't win a clearance. At the moment, I can't see the Dogs holding on.
13-5-83 plays 10-8-68. Werribee pushing really hard now. Has the ball just heading into attacking territory for the Bulldogs. Tashevsky Beckwith dragged down into the turf, and the umpire says, give it to me. 19 minutes gone, final quarter.
They've lost all structure up forward to Footscray. When the ball goes in, it'll come straight back out again.
So the ball eventually released. Oh, Barrack again kicking in danger. He just goes for territory. It's on centre wing. It's in a good position. Oh, Munro went off the ground. Maybe not the best option because it went straight to Biggs. Although he's drowned out in the tackle by Hooper. It's going nowhere. Ball eventually spills free. Working hard, Gribble on hands and knees. Eventually spills clean, bowls Jong. Munro again. His kick heading up towards the 50. Trying to find some space. Here is Collins and Fletcher Roberts. Roberts puts the hand in. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in 40 around from the Werribee goal.
So Hilly looks like Roberts has gone to give some extra strength there, and Collins has gone with him so that there's not the extra.
Yeah, there's just nobody behind the centre line here. Everybody's in the back half of the ground, and
in fact, Collins looks like he might do some ruck work here on Campbell. Keep an eye on that one. Campbell knocked it down. Ling Jong came away with it. Good spin from Green. He got it going towards the wing. That'll get inside 25. Is he going to ping him? No.
Come on.
Did look like it slid off the boot, that one. I'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Oh, it'd be rough in these conditions from deep in the back pocket. Mercado in the firing squad up here. He wanted it. He wanted blood.
I want the theatre.
Campbell knocked it down to Shevsky. Beckwith beautifully on. John get it going, but not far enough. Henderson,
centre of the
little
ground's a
ball
good
in ball
spot.
to Maishman. He found his man McFarlane. Heads inside the 50 for Werribee. Porter flies. Couldn't take the mark. Oh, wonderful stuff from the big fella English to keep his feet. Composure with the kick. Can't find a teammate though. Well played McFarlane. Knocked it to ground. We've got a stoppage. Heads at half forward for Werribee. They're 68. The Bulldogs are 83.
The Dogs are really always looking to go inboard this quarter, which really makes no sense to me. That's the dangerous spot, and they're turning the ball over. Werribee are making them pay too.
And the sun's out too, Hilly, just for you. Is this ball hacked out of the area for the Bulldogs, heading up towards centre wing. Oh, a little dribbler taken nicely by Pinnock. He plays on. He goes inside 50, bit of pushing going on. William almost gave the free kick away, nothing doing. Lin Chong just shoves his opponent out of the way. And again, the Bulldogs get a clearing kick, but it's going to come straight back in. Riley Barrick in a race against himself with the footy on centre wing, grandstand side. He runs around. He's got some time. He kicks inside 50. Plenty of Bulldogs there, and they almost fought each other, but Nash came over the top. He takes a safe mark inside defensive 50. 21, almost 22 minutes gone. 83 plays 68. Bulldogs lead.
Can't chip it around for 10 minutes. This quarter will go 31 or 32 minutes. So they can't chip it around for 10 minutes. They're going to have to find a goal from somewhere, the Dogs.
Monfrey's down the line. Adams takes a timely mark.
Nobody forward.
Shacky's pushing back. He doesn't like that option. He wants to go now. Shacky's got 3 to beat as the ball comes down. But Eminem's going to fly with a flight. He took a man out. It's got to be a free kick. Allowed to go on remarkably. Barrick had the footy. They had him. They pile in on top. And they'll toss it up 2 metres in from the boundary line.
I reckon time might beat him here.
Given the way that running with the flight free kick is adjudicated, that was quite astounding. Nonetheless, it's a 50-50 ball. Ruck contest. One here down to Maishman. To Class off the side of the boot. And it's out of bounds on the full. And Footscray fans just take a little sigh. As Monfries has the footy. Usually uses it pretty well, does Gus. Stabs it in. Oh, dangerous ball. Tchaikovsky Beckwith couldn't take it. Roman couldn't either. It's wet down there. Tough stuff. Over the line. Henderson had the footy.
You could see what Monfries was trying to do there, just spot up a player, kill some more time. But unfortunately, the turnover in the wet weather, just everything going in Werribee's favour at the moment. There's still a really strong chance. There'd be 7 or 8 minutes left to get these 3 goals.
23 minutes gone, 23 and a half gone as Ayler tackled over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in again. I hope there's only 7 or 8 minutes left because we've only got 10 minutes left of our broadcast time. To make you aware of that. Oh, if they kick a few more goals, it'll be a long quarter. Ball to be tossed back in. Sits up high. Working hard, Berry. It fell to the back though. Bulldogs ball. Here's a chance. Hayes lowers the eyes. Kick inside 50. He's going to be turned over. Barrett came in the nick of time, but Smith picked it up. Worked it to Hayes. At centre half forward. A high kick. Oh, it's going to be marked. No, not marked. From Mulligan McHugh. He goes back in to try and pick up the footy. He's under all sorts of pressure. Good work there, Sotomarco for Werribee. Works it across Pinnock, trying to clear the space. It'll only be temporary though, because Campbell's taken the mark. He's 55-60 from goal. He's too far out to score with the breeze, so he's just going to go as long as he possibly can. 24 and a half gone. A high ball. Falls to ground. No one can take the mark. Pinnock again, just looking for the line. Did he get it in time? Yes. Yeah, behind will count. 84 plays 68.
It's a free kick, is it? Or
wouldn't have thought so. The flags have been waved, so no. Play on. 84 plays 68. Bulldogs leading. 24, almost 25 minutes gone.
McFarlane. It's a fine line between over-attacking now. With nothing to lose, Maishman bombs a long ball to the wing. Third man in, Morris. Fists it back 25 metres. Work picked up by Aylett though. Got it to Browman. Goes on his right boot down the line. Was that in the back? Smith all over his man. Yes, it was. Probably a Werribee ball. There's space for the moment to close his running back. But he's not going to go there initially. It's going to be a long ball from Bennett. He wants a mark. Deep in the left full forward pocket. Fisted over the back. Chance. Oh, Hooper and the Claws ran into each other.
Gee.
Great spoil from Young.
Oh, they needed to talk, the two of them. They collided into each other at 100 miles an hour. Still, not all is lost. 25 and a half gone. Last turn, they need one quickly to still be alive in this contest. Deep in the forward pocket, at the back, one down. Sotomarco, wonderful hands. Petterwood couldn't take it. Little toe poke from Smith, picked up by Bennett. Around the corner, missed away to the right-hand side. One behind, 69 to 84, 26 gone.
Well, Fletcher Roberts to do the kicking in duties for Footscray. Thinking about going grandstand side.
He struggled with this today.
Yep, he's kicked to himself and has gone long, deep outside the 50. Campbell, half fist coming over the top of him, and it'll be thrown in just into attack for Werribee. 84 plays 69, 26 minutes gone, final term.
It's been quite a lot of stoppages. It might only go 30, 31, 32 minutes.
So time ticking down. Berry just trying to force it to the back, but only as far as Hayes, who goes around the body up towards centre wing. Oh, it's a terrific mark. McFarlane. He's trying to push for the 50 on Mulligan McHugh. That's not going to happen. It's on centre wing. Oh, trying to sell it to...
Oh, what a tackle.
That's a brilliant tackle. Mulligan McHugh. Sensational tackle. Just to reel him in. And he goes now from centre wing. His kick inside the 50, 2-on-1. It falls there to Shea, who's dragged over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in.
Tackle was nearly high there too, which would have effectively ended the game.
27 minutes gone. 84 plays 69. Ball to be tossed back in. They need to get it down the other end of the ground, Werribee. They'll be happy with this Footscray. Just keep it in this area. Campbell down to Jong, lost a handle on it, back to Campbell. He's 360 in the tackle, still got the handball away. Porter, Footscray's Porter, just throws it on the boot from 40 metres out. It goes to the top of the goal square. No mark taken. Adams, he was pushed off the footy. Oh, they're just not clean here. Werribee tackle. Now the umpire will throw it up. Deep into attack here for Footscray. One more and they've sealed it. They haven't already with almost 28 minutes gone.
They even just need to get a mark inside 50 so they can kill 30 seconds and
Campbell flicks it out the back.
Effectively end the contest.
Maishman tackled. Can he break away? He does. Well played. Handball. There's some daring stuff. Long ball out of the half back line. Big ball at half forward now. The man for game 100. He took a bounce. He regained it. Forward to the line. It's picked up by Young and he saves the day. He bombs it away from the goal line. English picks it up, kicks it further down the line. It's not going to be marked by McFarlane. Picked up at ground level. Here's Smith. Got it away to Monfries. Monfries down the line. Free kick behind play.
And they're into it too. They're into it here. They are really going McFarlane. There's 4 Bulldogs on 1 McFarlane. And he's been
overturned.
Goodness me. The kick's coming back. It's going to be a Footscray free kick, Leedsy.
Emotions are high late in this one. 29 gone, 84 to 69. It's going to come, after all that, it's going to come back to Monfries. He's got it at the wing. There's not a spare man. Biggs is saying, I can come at you if you want me to. Monfries kills 5 seconds. Bombs it long. He wants a mark down the line. Campbell can't get to it. Jong's well tackled. Spills though. Werribee get it going. They gain 40 metres, but Smith picks up the loose ball. Handball to Monfries. Through the middle to William. He tries to get away from his man and does. Bombs a ball to half forward. Werribee with the numbers in the air. They can't take the mark. Barrick has it. They've got him. Umpire will come in and toss it up. 48 out. And you feel like Footscray have done enough. 29-41 gone last term, 84 to 69.
All right, well, ball's tossed back up. Campbell got the front position. Not the second effort though. Ball tumbling forward into the middle of the ground. Smith, 360. Corbett trying to get the footy for Werribee, nothing doing. Trying to work his way through as Henderson. It's still held up, and the umpire holds for a long time, and Footscray will like that because seconds tick away. 30 minutes gone, 84 plays 69. Into the square attacking side for Footscray. Play went through without it. Callum Porter's got it for Footscray. He's sitting on it. And again, the umpire says, give it to me.
We've probably run out of time, I think, to complete this Werribee comeback. But, gee, it's been a spirited effort.
It has. We're covering their game next week against Sandringham, Truebarker Beach Oval. Ball off hands. Now they go again to Class from centre half back to centre half forward. Deep inside the 50. Hooper. Ball fisted away by Young. It falls to Corbett. He's going to go back. Sotomarco. Yes!
He's got it.
He kicks the ball. The skipper. Maybe. Oh, I still think time's beaten them. 31 minutes gone. 13-6-84 plays 10-9-69 here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. If you're listening to us on Aussie Digital Radio, we'll be leaving you in about 2 minutes' time. If you want to keep listening, get on the app, VFL app or VFL.com.au, or you can watch the rest of the game as well. Not long to go now.
Hilly picked this. He said they'd play with spirit regardless, and they are. Gribble in the middle. Couldn't take it away cleanly. Zhong does. He kicks a high ball to half forward. Footscray are working with against the numbers, I should say, because it's Werribee with them. Nash picks up the ball and they pick up him. They crash in over the top. There's no free kick. The umpire will toss it up. Half forward. Footscray attacking and leading 84-75. Almost into the 32-minute mark of the final term. They'll toss it up and Campbell will knock it away. Zhong taken over the line. But for a little lapse in the third term, how they'll be cursing what went on. John Lamont mentioned it to Hilly at the break. They just went to sleep and they found themselves 10 goals behind, to the point where it might just be too much. Campbell knocked it forward. Petterwood's there. Can he get it out cleanly? It's Footscray initially, but they don't come up with it in the end. It's Pinnock to Hayes. His kick forward to the pocket. It'll be dead enough to satisfy there.
Very
and they'll
smart
toss it
kick.
back in.
So, if you're listening to us on Aussie Digital next week, Sandringham versus Werribee, 1:45 on air, but we'll be leaving you in about 10 or so seconds. You want to keep listening, VFL.com.au is the place to go.
Deep in the forward pocket. Footscray have led all day. They hold that lead at the moment, 84-75. Almost 33 gone in the final term. Zhong tries to bust away. Was that too high? No. Umpire says, I'll take it. And he'll toss it up. 46 away from the goal line. Footscray attacking, leading 84-75.
Ball tossed back up, winding this one down. Collins, he coughed the footy up, going 360 style. Semiopolis puts it out of bounds
Here's
on the
their
full.
chance.
So it'll be Barrick. He'll go to the outer side. The kick is good. Finds Sotomarco. Sotomarco can go for a run. That's what he has to do. He has to find a target. Pinnock's been good today. His kick up the line finds the Class.
There's still time.
Is there though? There's his kick going high. Looking here for Josh Porter of Werribee. Couldn't take it. Oh, beautifully done there. Coughlin round a couple. Puts the ball up high. Jong went the fist. Oh, they're coming through. Here's an opportunity around the body. Sotomarco again on the goal line. Oh, player collided with the post.
Oh.
Gee whiz. And it's the behind. 84 plays 76. 34 minutes gone in this final quarter.
So Roberts to bring it back in, and how fitting that Morris went back without a care in the world for his body. Roberts as long and as high as he can, but Collins takes the mark and he'll kick with the breeze. He needs to go quickly. Handball away to Barrack. Right boot. Torp inside the 50 to the top of the square. Porter couldn't take it. Spills to ground. And a deserving win for Footscray. They dominated the whole game until the last quarter started, and they will come away with the points. 13-6-84 to a valiant and brave Werribee, 11-10-76.
Amazing. They led by 19 points at quarter time, 28 at half time, 41 at three-quarter time. They end up winning by just 8 points in the end. 13-6-84 to Werribee, 11-10-76. The goal kickers to full time. Shaki kicked 4 goals today for Footscray, 2 each to Mullinger, McHugh and Hayes. Momfries and singles to Porter, John, Dashevsky, Beckwith, and that will do for them. Well, we'll bring in the Werribee ones in a moment. But have a listen to the song, Doggies fans. Jump in, Hilly.
Thanks, boys. Just joined by Reuben William. Fantastic game from your club today.
Yeah, it was a good effort. We were very good for 3 quarters. That last quarter probably let us down a little bit, but it's just good to get over the line. Anytime you get a win, that's something to celebrate.
Certainly after half-time, you came out with a lot of vigour and pumped 4 or 5 goals on really quick and put that space in the game. They're a really strong club where we got great spirit and they threw everything at you in the last quarter.
Yeah, credit to them. They're a really good club, great people, great players. They really came at us and we just held on there. Coming out after half-time, like we executed the things we spoke about, and it was just good to see the boys play like that. Shame we couldn't hold it for the last quarter.
Your own form was really good today. That's the first time I've got a chance to see you this season, but I know the boys have already. You've fitted in really well with the Footscray group.
Yeah, I've loved it here. So since coming down a couple of months ago, it's been awesome. They've really accepted me, and these boys consider my brothers now. So it's awesome just to play here and come here 3 times a week to train. So Footscray's definitely been a perfect fit for me. And
is the goal to get back into the AFL?
Yeah, hopefully I'll still get back at the end of the year or sometime in the future. You know, age isn't a barrier anymore, as we've seen with some recent draftees. So definitely still ambitious.
Fantastic, mate. Well, you played very well today. Your team deserved the win, and congratulations. Go and enjoy it with the boys, and we'll see you throughout the season.
No worries. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
And
Thank
a very
you.
good person to speak to, Reuben William. Just hang on a moment. We'll just take this presentation. There's a trophy
Thanks
presentation.
once again to our matchday sponsor, Chiron Healthcare, for making today possible in the Peter Jackson VFL clash between Footscray and Werribee.
Health West Cup, as the players get into position for this. So we'll give you the Werribee goal kickers just quickly. 4 to Matty Munro, 3 to Josh Corbett, and singles to Sotomarco, Gribble, Coughlin, and Bennett.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now in its 4th year, the Health West Cup is a joint initiative between the 2 clubs, Western Health and Mercy Health, and was created to raise awareness of the vital medical services being delivered across Melbourne's west. The Werribee and Footscray communities in particular are key beneficiaries. Mercy Health's facilities include the Werribee Mercy Hospital, currently expanding to a 298-bed facility, and Footscray's Ursula Frayne Centre and Saltwater Mental Health Clinic, while Western Health's administrative umbrella covers the 290-bed Footscray Hospital. I'd like to call on Western Health CEO Russell Harrison to make the presentation to Angus Monfries.
So he picks up the trophy, Angus Monfries.
Firstly, thanks to Werribee for a great game today. Fought it right up to the last minute. Well done to our boys, and thanks a lot to Western Health for their sponsorship throughout the last couple of years. Thank you.
Nicely
Thank
said,
you very
sir.
much, Angus. Well done to Footscray.
There you go. So another trophy going in the cabinet for Footscray today. 13-6-84 to Werribee 11-10-76.
Werribee 11-10-76.
There's an echo in the room. But a good performance from Footscray. Ladder-wise, what this will mean for them, being the only game being played today, is they move on to 12 points, and they're going to leapfrog North Melbourne and move into 9th position as Andrew Hooper gets a round of applause and he leads his team off. Unfortunately, not the 100th game that he wanted, but disappointing there. But a good crowd, excellent crowd today at Werribee here this afternoon. Well, that'll almost be it for our coverage. Hilly, I know you're working there on the boundary line. Thank you for your work today. You survived the rain, you survived the conditions, did a beautiful job of it, and we will see you a little bit later on in the season. But today it was a win for Footscray. 13-6-84 to Werribee, 11-10-76, and they'll be pretty happy with that. Dale Morris getting through with no problems. Actually looked pretty good this afternoon. Thank you, Leedsy.
It's been a pleasure, Peter.
You and Adam looking after things next week, or will I just wander off to sort of summery spring weather, which I'm not getting over here?
Yes. Enjoy it.
I will, every last minute of it. Thanks for your company again today as well. We've appreciated it. It's been another big day of action. They almost got their Werribee, but Footscray too good in the end. 13-6-84 to 11-10-76. Next week, 1:45 on air. It is Sandringham taking on Werribee. See if Werribee can bounce back and capture something from that final quarter today. But thanks for your company. Enjoy the next couple of weeks, and we'll have plenty more for you right here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.